Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good day. Welcome, everybody, to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Jay, how are you?
Just fine, Mike. Pleased to be here.
Good. Any trouble with the roads out there?
They're just fine. A little wet.
Dude, it came down here earlier. I don't know about how it was where you live, but it was, I was worried about it.
What were you worried about?
I was worried you guys were going to get caught in a flash flood or something. It was
flash
pouring.
flood. We were good.
Yeah. Good. Glad everyone's here and okay. God, man, I was just watching the Defiant Ones upstairs. It premiered last night on HBO, and that's the documentary about Jimmy Iovine. You know, the weird relationship you wouldn't think existed between Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. The guys that owned Beats together and sold to Apple and all that.
Famously became billionaires through that sale.
Oh, you watched you and I were watching like the first 7 minutes of it. That's all I've gotten through. I guess it's going to be like a 4.5 hour thing that each Sunday is an hour. And it premiered last night. It looks awesome, though. You know, it's got like they're just interviewing all these people from their lives. You know, like so it's kind of a weird, what is it, Bedfellows, strange Bedfellows, because it's like Eminem and Will.I.am and then like Stevie Nicks. You know, Tom Petty. Like, oh, I wonder which ones were with Dre and which ones were with Jimmy Iovine over the years. But oh, dude, that opening scene.
Yeah, where Jimmy's kind of telling Dre, like, look, we're on the cusp of this big deal with Apple, so just let's lay low. You know, it's about to be done, but we just got to chill out. I think he likened it to Goodfellas, was it? Yeah,
the Jimmy character.
The scene in Goodfellas where De Niro's like, look, nobody buy any furs, everybody lay low, nobody
no cars.
Yeah, we don't want any attention being drawn to us.
Yeah, after the Lufthansa heist,
right?
Yeah, where they stole like $7 million from that plane hijacking, and so that's his point to Dre is like, look, dude. This weekend, you don't move. You stay where you are, and you talk to no one. Do you understand? Dre's like, yeah, man, no problem, whatever.
Shit.
Shit, I got this shit, no worries. And then Jimmy Iovine's like, yeah, I get a call at like 8 o'clock at night from Puff Daddy, and he's like, hey, man, what's going on with this, some rumors out there about, some deal with Apple. He's like, look, man, I can't talk about it. You got to just trust me here. I can't say anything. I'm talking to other people, whatever. So just please respect that. And, all right, man. He says his phone rings again at like 2 in the morning, and it's Puff. You motherfucker! I've been your friend all these years. You won't talk to me about what's going on. And he's like, and now Dre's on Facebook Live talking about this shit. He's like, wait, what? He's where? He's on Facebook, man, talking all about this deal,
announcing that he's the first billionaire in hip hop history.
And there's Dre, absolutely shit-faced drunk in his studio. With Tyrese Gibson, and they're just like dancing and shit, drinking, and
it was really Tyrese's post, right, in Dre's defense.
Yeah,
but he's in the background going, first billionaire in hip hop history.
The Forbes list just came out 2 weeks ago. They're going to need to update some shit, nigga. We got a new billionaire, and then he's dancing a jig in the video. And Jimmy Iovine is losing his shit.
Because the deal's not done.
It's not signed. And they go to Snoop, and Snoop is hilarious. And they're, oh, dude, I've watched 8 minutes of it. I'm like, okay, this is going to be, I've heard great things about it.
It's got potential.
Yeah, it sure does. Anyway, I've been dealing with that this morning.
Hold on. Speaking of HBO shit, man, I had the opportunity to watch T.J. Miller's stand-up over the break.
Yeah, so did I.
So bad.
Dude.
It is embarrassingly bad.
Dude. I didn't even want to bring it up on the show. It was so fucking bad.
Oh my God!
Did he do the thing where he sprays water all over his face
yes,
or whatever?
The whole time.
Now that was funny, dude. The spraying water.
It was almost Gallagher-esque.
Dude, no, Gallagher at least had like social commentary that was relevant to the time while he was smashing watermelons and whatever else.
It is such a bad stand-up.
Dude.
It's the worst hour I've ever spent watching stand-up. I couldn't believe it. I love that guy's character on Silicon Valley so much.
Yeah.
Ehrlich Buckman. But stand-up-wise, it is so weak.
It is bad. It's funny, when we were trying to get him on the show, and we were like, remember the day we put up some of his stand-up? and we just started watching. Let's check him out.
Yeah.
And all of us were just kind of like,
Maybe an off night.
yeah, maybe. We didn't like know what to say because
Yeah.
we're such fans of, like you said, Erlich Bachman and stuff. It's funny you mentioned that because I watched it too and had the same reaction. I was just like, I can't believe what I'm seeing
I almost
here.
texted you too, like, don't even bother. But then I'm like, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, it was so bad. And
here's the thing too, is they cut a ton out of there. There were scenes where all of a sudden they came back to him and he was more wet. So he went on for another 2 minutes with his stupid water bottle thing.
I don't even remember what the subject matter was.
Well, remember at the end he's doing that spray and his point was like, what kind of culture do we live in where there's like moisturizing spray water?
Right.
But it
Then he
didn't
gets
go
the
anywhere.
giant bottle
And then he's
out.
just like spraying it at his face and it's just like hitting him and
Some mist.
he does a battle axe thing for like a half hour. Dude,
Yeah.
TJ.
Yeah.
Oh, TJ.
Yeah, it was
I guess
rough.
this
And-
is ruining any chance of having TJ Miller on.
No, fuck that. Whatever. I mean, if he's got to promote something, he'll promote it. We could ask him about that special because, dude, it's lousy.
I talked to his manager. He was like, when he comes through town for comedy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's not. It's not like he's going to listen to this. The other thing about that was when he came out on stage, his pockets were so loaded with like like these props that he's going to use.
Yeah.
It was distracting because they're just like in his pockets. Like I'm like, okay, he's obviously got 2 more bottles of water stuffed in his back pocket. It's distracting me.
And this was his hometown, I think Denver, was it? Yeah, and he went on and on, Denver! And he gets the gratuitous, we're from Denver applause. And he
What a
went on-
wonderful audience,
Yeah.
Denver! Just
And so
gratuitous.
that's your hometown, and that's the show you do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. It was weak.
It's funny you mentioned that because over the weekend I tweeted something about Patrice O'Neal. Do you remember Patrice,
Sure.
the big black comedian
Yep.
who was one of those guys I always felt like
Died too soon.
well, yeah, he had diabetes.
He did.
And he had a stroke and then died. And I'd watched his progression over the years, and he had one special, and it was good. Elephant in the Room was the last one he did, and I was like, this is getting really strong. And you can just tell when you're watching a comedian grow, you can tell it's like the next one is the one that's going to speak for a generation. Like the next Patrice O'Neal special is the one that is going to fucking destroy, and then he dies. And it's like I think about him from time to time, and I'm just like, what a shame to lose a guy like that. And so I started just like randomly listening to old Patrice O'Neal interviews. They're not even interviews. He would go on Opie and Anthony's show as like a fill-in, like if Jimmy Norton or something was on the road.
Yeah.
And he'd come in and he would do stuff on race and on men versus women that is some of the fucking funniest and most original shit that you've ever heard. And I was listening to some of this stuff and just like, and so one of the days, TJ Miller's in studio. And so they've got TJ Miller in as a guest promoting some movie and Patrice. And Patrice is talking to a doctor who's written a book about how, Dr. Z, about how women or men can get women to put out sooner. Mm-hmm. And Patrice lights this bitch up for an hour about how the fuck would you, doctor, know what are you kidding me? I'm a man. You're going to tell me what I need to do to get put. And he just destroys it because he's like, he's talking about, TJ Miller, she's like, oh yeah, it's impressive. He's got this big movie out now. He's like, exactly. He needs to have a big fucking movie out now for you to be impressed. You know what, doctor? You don't impress me that you're a doctor. No guy gives a fuck that you're a doctor or a lawyer. I fuck doctors and lawyers. Doesn't matter. You have no more clout with a guy than a cute girl that works at McDonald's. It's about your pussy and so he's just going on and on. But TJ Miller is sprinkling in comments, and I'm just going,
Ooh, really?
read the room, TJ. Like,
Oh, no.
this guy, like, Opie and Anthony literally backed off and didn't say a word for an hour. They were like, okay, this is unbelievable what's going on right now between these two. And TJ's trying to, like, bring it back to some weird point he was making earlier. And I found myself, like, yelling at my phone, dude,
Yeah,
shut up. What are you?
yeah.
And I was like, maybe he's young. Hey, he's just young. And then I watched his stand-up special and was like, no.
I didn't laugh once.
Dude, I honestly, I think there was
I
one
didn't laugh
point.
once.
I think there was
And
one
I wanted
point.
to because I love that guy's character
Yeah.
on Silicon Valley. Like I said, I love it.
Yeah.
One of the best.
I think there was one moment in there where I was like, that's pretty funny. But I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. But that's not my style of comedy. I like, the really big guys, the Burrs, the Louis C.K.'s, the Patrice, that are thinking outside.
Seasoned.
They're bigger. They're thinking outside the box instead of just like goofball prop bullshit where it's like, oh, really? We're doing this again?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So make sure you watch the T.J. Miller special.
bad.
It's good stuff.
Don't bother.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. But the other news that broke from the that special, you know, as from the Defiant ones on HBO about Dre and Jimmy Iovine, some of the producers and stuff, obviously in promotion, are doing some interviews. And one of the things that came out was, you know, is it hard for these guys to be, you know, go from being producers to being businessmen? And one of the guys was like, oh, shit, Dre's in the studio every day. He's producing all the time. Well, I think he was talking to Uprocks in an interview, and he's like, shit, he's been working on M's new album for Ball. And people are like, what?
Who? What?
It's like, yeah, he's finishing up some tracks with Eminem right now. So apparently, Eminem and Dre are in the studio together doing M's next album, which is kind of breaking news.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. People have been wondering when he's going to have some new stuff come out. So, didn't we have something we were supposed to do this morning, Jay?
We did.
I don't remember.
Expose your buttock. It's towel snap time.
How did this start? What did E do to deserve?
It was, he was leaving the door open, and we had the big discussion about how do we train E. We can't use electricity. We know that. That's off the table. There was all sorts of suggestions. Take away his attention was probably the most effective, as he agreed. But somebody suggested the towel snap, simple, just rat tail
whap. And is that where that started yesterday, E, in the discussion?
It was in an email.
It was in an email. Okay. And so I said I would towel snap him, and I think the way we left it off is I get 3 tries because I haven't towel snapped anyone in years. And E's hope is that I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too.
Yeah.
Whether you can do this. Somebody speculated that you were a bit limp-wristed, wouldn't be able to pull it off. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
there's a technique involved, and
you're a great athlete growing up, fine, whatever. But does that mean if you take 20 years off and you haven't done a whole lot, you're hoping it's like riding a bike, and it's
you had your washer toss situation over the weekend, which spoke for itself. So
I didn't want
to be fine.
Brag about that, but yeah, thank you for mentioning that historic game of couple games of
why don't you assume the position over by me?
Wait. I think that the idea that he gets 3 and he could miss. Well, what constitutes a miss?
I'll be the judge.
Oh well,
is that a big enough towel, Mike? That looks like a bath mat.
I know. Don't you have a real towel?
I think. Well, a real towel will hurt more, and I got it wet, so it'll be less painful if it cracks you. Right?
Oh, is that why you did it?
Yeah, well, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, plenty. Up and at him.
All right, so Jay, you're going to have to kind of run commentary here.
That literally is a bath mat. I don't know.
A towel, dude.
Why?
I purposely went with this.
Why we're doing this? All right, he's heading over by me, and he's going to apparently drop his drawers. Just
That's not.
Expose the upper buttock, please. We don't want to see the fruit cup. Nobody wants to see that. E, hit your mark.
So where is E going to be?
Hit your mark right here next to me.
Are these headphones on? No.
Miguel is going to go ahead and warm up. You want to warm up a little bit? Do a couple air snaps.
Those aren't on.
Do we want to hit Mike Lindell? We want to hit the poster of Mike Lindell?
I think I just want to go. I've got 3 shots, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, E, come on.
Give me a target, E. Should we get the mic down there so if I do connect with skin, you guys
Okay.
hear it?
All right, E.
All right. Now, can the camera see his butt? I want the audience
camera
to see his butt.
Can see his butt.
What's going on, dude?
You're in
He's
front
got
of
a rash between his butt.
I know.
What's
It's probably. Yeah.
Mike, you're going to want to move to your left.
No, dude.
Yeah. All right, eases.
Uncleanliness.
Let's expose the buttocks so the viewers can see.
Down.
Oh, boy.
Give me a target, E. Move your hands.
And here goes snap number 1. Oh, that was really lame, Mike.
That was it.
Come on.
Was that one?
No, that wasn't even
It was
one.
a practice one.
Well, why are you?
That's why I didn't even get close.
You get 3.
I know, in one practice.
All right, here we go. Yeah, we saw some water, spray there. Did that hurt you?
Can you see his butt, Jay, in the video?
You can see his
I
ass,
didn't even feel anything.
Get it, Mike, get it.
Oh, jeez.
Get that ass.
Okay, I'll give you
All right,
another
here's
one.
his,
That wasn't
here's
bad.
his third practice. Here we go.
Third practice.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Did that one
I'll let you do it again.
All right,
I'll let
first
you do
real
it.
one. First real one. Here we go.
That did hurt, though. I will say that.
Can you still see his butt? I want the audience to see his butt.
You're going to need to move a little bit, Mike.
Wait, which way?
We want to. There you go. You're fine. Butt is fully exposed, and here we go with the first. Lame. All right.
That was the good one.
Second real one. Here we go. Oh boy! Come on, Mike.
That counts, dude. I think
Yeah,
that
this is the
counts, but
third and final. Here we go. Come on, Mike. Get him. Get that ass. Yeah.
You need to.
Jay, you want to try? I'm tired of this. You're
No.
giving me all this shit. Why don't
No,
you
it was
try?
about
Yeah.
him though. It was about him.
Look at the welt I left. I want credit for the welt. E, show Jay the welt.
To look at his ass. Oh, dude,
see
there
the
is
rash?
something in between his.
What did you think I was lying?
Fuck. E. All right, we're on the 1 year anniversary of your toes being screwed up. Us finding out about your toes being screwed up. Now, what's going on in your ass crack?
I don't know. Probably just rash or some shit. Who knows?
Yeah.
You're not wiping again?
I mean, most of the time, but who knows?
Wait. Most of the time you wipe?
I don't know where things come from. They're just whatever.
Dude. Hey, people keep asking Michael Kowalski, what Kowalski's great-tasting sausages pairs best with? The answer? More great-tasting Kowalski sausage.
was gonna
Just
say
tell him Mike sent you. Kowalski quality for over 97 years. 97 years in the sausage business, Mike. They must be doing something right.
97 years. That's a long time, man.
Pretty close.
Yep. E, how's your butt feel?
I mean,
Did it hurt at all? That one?
no,
stung,
the one did.
Yeah.
The one was
I felt like I was getting close to it, like if he would have had his leg spread, I would have clipped a ball. You know what I mean?
You should have had a beach towel or something. That
I don't
bath
think
mat
you
was
did
not-
yourself favors
Yeah.
with the towel you chose.
Really?
That was not ideal.
Well, we can try it again tomorrow. I'll get a proper towel. Practice a little bit. I forgot to practice. So. Jay, you've got weird gaps in your television viewing. Like you...
Yeah, I don't have cable presently, so I'm not watching a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But you've got Sling By. So you basically have every channel that DirecTV offers you have. HBO, like everything. So
All I'm watching now is Le Tour.
Le Tour
Let's
de-
discuss.
yeah.
Bonjour!
But you've got weird gaps. Like we watched the same things when we were in high school, and then through college you had weird things. Like you would watch like
General
soap
Hospital.
operas,
Yeah.
weird
Big
shit
time.
like that. Like my dad when he was making Angel's Food Cake or Devil's Food Cake and watching soap operas all day. But then you had kids and got into your law practice, and you didn't watch anything. You didn't follow anything.
Right.
But I'm always struck by like weird things, like Real World or Road Rules or
I
something.
watched a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah, Survivor. And it's
Yep.
like you were up on some of that shit. And so I'm throwing this out there. This might be in your wheelhouse. It might not.
All right, what do we have?
Jersey Shore.
I'm familiar. I'm familiar enough to know the basic characters and know
Yeah.
the sitch.
The situation.
Yeah.
God, the situation. I haven't thought about the situation in a long time.
Last I saw him, he was on Dancing with the Stars, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's going bad when you end up on Dancing with the Stars. You know, you've peaked and are on the way down. But yeah, there was this situation. There was Snooki,
JWoww.
JWoww,
Vinny.
Vinny. Yeah, Vinny.
Vinny was actually my favorite because he is Vinny and DJ
Pauly
Pauly D.
DJ Pauly D. Actually, I liked after the show. Like during the show, I hated all of them, but after the show, when I started seeing him do things or do interviews, I was like, this guy's not half bad. He was the one with that weird haircut.
Yeah.
He was.
Kinda that
I
Oon
thought
haircut.
he was the more genuine of the people. Him and Vinny, when they were to be together, they seemed like they weren't total douchebags all the time compared to the other ones. But who the fuck knows?
It looks like they might be returning to TV for some sort of
Oh, good.
special. Yeah. Like they all like have kids now. Like, what are they going to get drunk and fuck in the hot tub like before? I mean, what is that possibly going to be like? I don't know. I didn't realize this either. They gave us. Do you remember GTL that they would say all the
Gym
time?
Tan Laundry.
There you go.
What is it?
GTL.
What does it mean?
Gym Tan Laundry.
Go to the gym. Got to get your workout in.
gotcha.
Then you got to do your tan.
Got to
in.
get your tan in, and then you got to do your laundry.
Yep.
You would go like to the quarter wash or whatever. GTL. It became a big thing.
Yes, people.
The other thing that they get credit for is DTF.
Yeah.
Down to fuck. Like, doesn't that seem like that's been around forever?
Maybe it was, dude, but I do not remember it as big until
What years
the
were they
show.
on?
They were on 2009 to 2012. Seems like DTF would have been around
Yeah, a
before
little
2009. But they in the articles I'm reading, they give them credit for that. That's not bad to have on your,
Good for Snooki.
yeah, to have on your list of credits.
Yeah, didn't Snooki just have like a couple kids or something?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Didn't she get like, remember when she got punched in the
Yes.
bar? See if you can find video of Snooki getting punched in the bar. One of those.
Where she's in the guy's face.
Oh, yeah, motherfucker. The guy's
Wham!
like, oh, really? Boom! Dude, he hit her like he was hitting a guy he really didn't like.
Yeah.
And that came out of nowhere. That was actually shocking to watch because he fucking blasted her. And this is always my fear when you see a girl like don't you motherfucker get in some guy's face at a bar, and I'm always like, dude, you just don't know. That guy could go guy at any fucking moment.
And there she is with her trucker hat on.
Yeah, an Ed Hardy trucker hat.
Something's playing. Oh, fuck this thing. Okay.
And they're like, you know what, Snooki, you're a real cool girl. I'm like, thank you. Like, finally.
Clacker, there she goes, off the stool. What are you thinking, man? You're being filmed.
Yeah. And it's his face isn't blurred out, which means he had to have signed some sort of release.
That's a good point. In the end, he signed it.
He had to have signed something, right? You couldn't just show him doing that.
No.
Wow. I'm trying to think who else was there, but whatever.
Ronnie. There was Ronnie.
Oh, fuck. I hated Ronnie.
JWoww.
Yeah.
You already said, I guess. There was and I forget who's Ronnie. Sammy, remember? He was like the meanest or the nicest bitch you'll ever meet or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Because Ronnie and Sammy were always...
Were they the ones that were hooking up or...
Well, there was always
love?
the drama of whether they were going to be together or not.
Yeah. Well, apparently they were spotted on the Point Pleasant Beach in Ashbury Park in recent weeks, filming this Jersey Shore reunion. Toby Wolf, the director of marketing for the Boardwalk in Point Pleasant, said, yeah, the cast, they came and had dinner together and they were filming some blah, blah, blah.
I suppose it warrants a reunion, you know?
Well, the weird
hell?
thing
And
is...
for a little bit, it was the biggest show on cable for a little bit.
People will
Yeah.
watch that reunion.
Totally,
See what the fuck
I
they're doing,
will.
See how messed up they are.
Yeah. I know what's his name's facing tax evasion shit like right now, like
The Sitch?
like bigly. Yeah,
Really?
the Sitch. Yeah.
Yeah, he had major issues with the business he started, I think, with his brother. Like, it was a...
Yeah.
It was a... I don't know if it was a gym or it was something.
Well, the
And
world
Pauly
needs-
D's still doing
yeah.
really good.
It was a tanning place or maybe
Yeah.
laundry, I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a gym, tanning place, laundry place, all in one. But yeah, so he's in trouble with that. But he was tweeting about it over the weekend too, like, yeah, getting ready for it. The weird thing is, though, it sounds like MTV has no involvement with this at all. Like, that was MTV's show, and they're not a part of whatever this is.
Yeah, what does MTV do now? I haven't tuned into that station forever. They still running shit like this, like Real Worlds and reality shit?
Pretty much, I
Good
think, from what I
question,
can
dude.
tell. A lot of Teen Mom still, because Teen Mom, I think, is back at this point.
So it's not like
there's
it's not
another...
like they're out of the
Yeah.
game. Like they.
No, they've got multiple channels. They've got they've still got VH1. They've got, which I think does older videos a lot.
They
And
will
they've got MTV Classic now, which does like 90s programming.
MTV, who probably is still going, I'm assuming.
Shit.
Yeah, but I don't know what they must be doing a lot of Road Rules stuff, but I have not watched that channel, and I can't tell you how long. I mean, it's not meant for us anymore. But probably Sweet 16 they might still be doing, or
Yeah, I'm not
reruns
sure.
of that shit.
Yeah, probably at some point. And I will say, I think there's technically a new Jersey Shore that's going on right now. Like, it's not called Jersey Shore, but I think just recently I finally saw like
Same
someone...
format.
Yeah, same format, just some Guidos or some people on the beach.
Yeah.
Guidos. I didn't even fucking... I guess you guys probably knew that term, but I swear to God...
Guidos? Yeah.
No, but I swear to God, that's where I first, like, really... Like, this idea of the Italian, like...
Yeah, it's
I don't
kind of
know, just-
derogatory.
I know,
so I don't
but
know if
they-
you're allowed to say it.
They called themselves that
Yeah, I don't
at
know
the
if you're
time.
allowed to say it though.
Well,
I think you
said
are.
it,
Some of the
so.
articles refer to them as the Guido boys and stuff, so I don't know. It's not on the takeoff list just
Although, you
yet,
know what's-
but it's close. Guido is pretty...
You know what's funny is, like, I will say this. I remember me and Ty, like, saying, like, one thing that I thought, and I'm not saying they were the sole thing of why this changed a little bit. Maybe it was already happening and they just made it mainstream. But there was a time, like, before they were really big, I felt like, when you go to nightclubs and, like, people still had to wear, like, you know, like, collared shirts and, like, nice pants. And they all of a sudden they had that whole style where it just became, like, the kind of the jean, you know, like the, trying to think, buckle jeans and, like, the V-necks and this and that. And all of a sudden now you could go to clubs and you didn't have to be, like, really,
they
like,
changed
dressed
that?
up. I thought they
Maybe.
were a big part of it. I used to think so anyway at the time.
I don't remember what the story was, but that show was sparked from another MTV show where I don't know if it was Cribs or something, but they did something at the Jersey Shore where they had some guy on who was a fucking meatball. He was just a moron, loudmouth. He was basically one of the Jersey Shore cast members,
Yeah.
and he was showing off his crib or something at the Jersey Shore. And this 10-minute whatever they did on him was like, okay, we need to fucking...
This is a subculture here. Holy shit!
we need to find out what this is all about. I don't know if I've given you enough detail, E, that you could find a clip of that guy because there was some memorable shit about him. I just don't. It was so long, I don't remember. The other thing that's interesting that when reading this article, I would have never dreamed. Think about all the shows that have been on MTV. They said the Jersey Shore was MTV's most popular show ever.
Wow. Yeah, that surprises me.
I mean, dude, what do you Beavis and Butthead in its heyday, or
Remote Control?
Remote Control? Was it Ben Stiller's show on there, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would have guessed Real World just overall.
I would have thought Real World or
Road Rules.
No, not Road Rules, but Cribs maybe, or Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
I mean, Beavis and Butthead to me was so huge for so long, but Jersey Shore, that I would not have guessed that. But that was a phenom that took over the country for a while there. So
well, I don't think they were originally. I don't think they were going to change. I think the cast was going to become a changing cast too, like more like a Real World. And those guys just fucking those
Country
characters
just fell in love with them.
Just took off, and
yeah, I remember just being really, really annoyed with them. But I don't know. Like you said, Jay, I'll tune in.
Yeah,
See what they're up
like
to.
a lot of people will.
Speaking of hating people, another one of these mothers breastfeeding. This,
Showing everybody how noble they are.
yeah.
you know. By the way, when I was in my West Side that last week when we were gone, I forgot about this, but only because he brings up breastfeeding. We were in South Haven one day, and my mom like went in the store to go to the bathroom.
Did your
or
mom
something.
breastfeed you in
Gross.
South Haven?
No.
Hi, Mrs. Fady, by the way.
Yeah, good morning, Mr.
But my dad and I were just sitting on a bench, and sure enough, dude, some lady just walks by.
It's very naturally.
as she's walking, breastfeeding her kid, just walking through, a downtown city in a very a day right
I
after
don't really
the
have a
parade.
problem with that.
I guess I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with that either. You know, when the
It's
moment
the whole,
strikes,
it's the whole grandstanding shit like we talked about the other day with this Larissa Waters of Australia's Parliament standing up there while she's bringing a motion before Parliament. She's breastfeeding. Like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You go do that for 10 minutes, come back, and then do your motion.
yeah,
I
do
don't
your
know. I don't
job.
think you need to be walking through the park. I think you could sit down at least or something or some. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, E. I guess, like, they will go, it's the most natural thing ever. And we've talked about it. It's just natural. When it happens, it happens. And it's like,
Well, then
fine.
Poop in the park.
Yeah. And my thought is, if a guy was walking through the middle of the park and just went, oh, nature calls, and just dropped his pants and sat down and started shitting on the lawn,
I mean, what's the difference?
cameras would come up and you would film it. You wouldn't go, you pig, get a life. It's natural. What are you filming? Why are you shaming me? This is natural. I'm shitting in the park. No, you would expect people to go, oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. Look at this guy shitting in the park. So if a chick wants to walk around with half a titty hanging out and a little mini head on it, I think should be able to go, oh, wow, yeah, I know it's natural, but that's pretty, you don't see that every day. And film her.
Pull a Jim Carrey and me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah,
Just take a spot.
see if you can take a pull really quick. But yeah, these like media hungry. I think this chick's like a mommy blogger or something.
Yeah, one of
And
these La Leche ladies.
What is a
They're like on the forefront of this public breastfeeding stuff. Like it's so natural.
Well, she was doing an interview or did something that caught the news cycle. I think she's in San Diego or Los Angeles. But she was talking about how, she's titty feeding her kid. And, another natural thing in life is coitus. And so the moment struck. And so her husband starts banging her while she's titty feeding. And people are like, okay, fuck you. That is gross. And I'm thinking, like, is that a three-way tip? Does that count?
No, it doesn't.
It
Mike.
doesn't. Did you and
That's
Greg
fucking weird.
you didn't like ever. No. So then she did an interview. Did you have the interview there, E, on the news? So she does an interview on the news, and I'm like, okay, whatever. She's got some freaky thing, and the kid passed out on her titty, and her husband's like, oh, come on, baby. We've all been there where it's like, I don't give a shit. And you just want some. So go ahead, E, hit play there. But it's like, okay, now you're on the TV news.
And breastfeeding
And you're
again?
breastfeeding again. Really?
Yeah.
And what was your reply to that?
Well, I think they're being an adult about the conversation and getting to
getting hung
more
up.
of like the actual details. Is the baby was sleeping while breast.
Sleeping.
Well, yeah, whatever. You get the point. But I'm looking at this like, oh, okay, here again, we have to make a scene. We have to go on the news while our kid's sucking on her titties.
Yeah, these moms who act like they're the first mom in the history of man. Yeah, we get it. You're a mom and you breastfeed.
Yeah.
Great, cool. Do that. You know, if the baby wants to breastfeed, sure. But
Yeah.
act like this is some groundbreaking new thing.
Yeah.
Please.
When did that start? Like, when was the push for this? Like,
I don't know.
it just, I don't know, because I've always felt the same way. Like, you're just not that special. Having a kid is not,
Not at all.
it's not remarkable. Any moron can do that. I almost had a kid.
I'm sure.
I didn't tell you guys. Beth had a miscarriage last week.
What?
Yeah. I know. I'm not, no, there's no punchline here.
Wow.
Wait a minute, what?
Dude,
That's crazy.
I get a fucking text from her, and she just
What?
says,
Is she okay with you talking about this?
we'll find out.
Fix this in post?
We'll find out. So she's at work, and she texts me, and she's like, "Oh my God, I was just changing my tampon at work," and so now I'm at a crossroads. You know, now I've read this, and I'm like, okay. My natural reaction is to text her back like, "Okay, gross. This relationship has
there,
been
yeah.
great, you know, but obviously I think
Now
it's
you're grossing me
time.
out.
It's time to probably part ways. I wish you luck on your future endeavors." But then I was thinking, like, God, this must be one of those moments when she's always like, "Oh my God, would you grow up?" You know, or "Stop acting like a child," you
Yeah.
know, or you know, my nephews act more mature than you, and they're 5 and 3. Like, I'm hearing all those things, and I'm like, okay, time to be a man and follow through and listen to this. And she goes on to tell me about this, like,
Oh, God.
yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah. And
What?
she's like, I've never experienced anything like it. I literally had a miscarriage at work today, and I'm just like, holy shit. But I was thinking, like,
So she was pregnant then? I mean,
no, just let that sit.
well, no, I get
No,
that. I get that. But I, mean,
said to let that sit. Would you repeat that and let it sit?
Yes, E.
I get
Yes.
that part, but I mean, like, I'm shocked. How did she not know yet?
Dude, people don't know for a while sometimes.
Yeah. She
and
obviously wasn't
a
very
lot of
far
people.
along.
A lot of people miscarriage in the first 10 or 12 weeks.
Yeah. So my thought was, okay, well, this is probably good news
You're probably
because
like,
Well, what's it got to do with me?
it's not yours, is it?
yeah, well, whose is it? But I was like, this is probably good news because we probably would have murdered it, you know, like aborted it, and then like half the country would have called us baby killers. And instead, God chose to do that for us, and now we get sympathy from like 100% of the people.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And here's where the problem came in, because I apparently didn't take it seriously. And so we go to the
I
house
did
where
not joke about this.
sort of a little bit, but she was kind of joking too.
Oh, Miguel.
Yeah, I know. I was like, immediately, I was like, "You killed my son," you know, like, yeah, I can't help it, dude. When uncomfortable moments come in, I have no. That's how I react, and I'm sorry. It's why she, you know, you act like a child, you know. So we went to a party, and of course I can't turn up. We go to where I just
Washer Toss, you
excelled.
killed it.
I mean, just like
Yeah.
crushed it at Washer Toss. And so we go to this thing, and I see a girl that I know that Beth knows. Beth's known her forever. She's got a couple kids, and she's like, Katie. She comes. She's like, "Hey, Mike." I'm like, "Hey," and Beth is in the other room, and I'm like, "Oh God, make sure you ask her about the miscarriage she just had." And she's like, "Ah," and her reaction, and so I'm like, you know, I got a couple drinks in me, and
Yeah, this goes to my. Is she? Are you sure she's okay with us talking about this?
right, I know,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't learn your lessons well, you
Yeah.
know. You don't learn from past mistakes. And so Beth comes up, and I'm like, and she's like, "Hey, miscarriage," and then Beth got mad at me and was like, "Dude," she didn't say "dude," I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, "You can't go up to girls at parties and say something like that." And I'm like, "Why the fuck not? It wasn't her, it was you." And she's like, "Yeah, that's fine, but you don't know who else has had a miscarriage and
How they feel about
how
it?
they feel about it. This could be a very traumatic thing for people." And I'm like, And I
This
kind
shit's
of got
way too complicated
yeah,
for me.
I know. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have brought this up.
This is crazy. How did this not go up yesterday?
I don't know. But yeah. So then I kind of walked away like, oh fuck, get over it, man. Whatever. And then later on, I was like, yeah, that was kind of. I kind of see what she was talking about there, and I felt bad that I had reacted the way I did. But she's been a pro about it, I guess. I mean, she's been good at, you know.
Wow.
I brought the room down.
No birth control going on over there.
Well, I had a problem before. I guess I can't say.
Wait, what?
I've never had a scare before. Yeah.
You're just doing your thing, no birth control to ease
Well,
question.
To East Point. No,
She's a nurse. Seems like.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to be on birth control like constantly. It breaks.
But
I don't.
What about those what are they like IUDs or whatever you call them?
Look at E.
What is he?
Like the things they just put it in there and then it's like
just put it in there.
Yeah, you put it in there.
But it's like it goes for like a year or something.
It does.
Yeah, I'll have to mention that next time. No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring down the room. It's just something that happened.
Did.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that.
You didn't like bring me down, but it certainly is like it's like a certainly
No,
like
I could tell by the look on your faces you thought there was a punchline coming.
I definitely thought there was a punchline coming.
The point, I guess,
really astounding.
Here's the thing. Beth and I are not trying to have kids. Neither of us want kids. So it was a scare that happened, and we didn't have to have an abortion. It just kind of took care of itself.
I guess I'm more...
And so it was like, it wasn't that big a deal. Like, we weren't like, oh my God, we were trying for so long and this happened.
It would have been a big deal if it didn't miscarriage.
If it took?
Yeah,
no,
no.
It's saying they just killed it anyway.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That's my goal, is to knock someone up just so I can kill the kid. Pro-abortion, you know. Anyway, I'll move on. And again, I'm sorry to bring the room down. We got a...
Hold on. This is a miscarriage story. Zot Ford has requested that their read follow any miscarriage story.
They do.
Anyone on the panel here who has a miscarriage, here they go.
Them.
Zot Ford and Holly makes buying and leasing your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV incredibly fun and easy. Yes, they have a foosball table. Yes, they have fresh movie-style popcorn. And, of course, they have the hottest sales staff in Oakland County. Plus, if you accidentally leased your current vehicle from another dealership, Zot Ford will happily return that vehicle for you. No need to deal with that old boring-ass dealership. Zot Ford has you handled. Peep their irresistible deals and massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Peep them. Make sure you peep them. Did you ever take your kids? You probably didn't, Jay. You ever take your kids to the McDonald's, those jungle gym?
Fuck no.
Those
the
gym
Playland or whatever?
Yeah. No?
Gross.
Never?
No.
Just because you won't eat at McDonald's or because those are gross and infested with kid germs?
Honestly, I mean, I'm not above taking my kids to places like Charles E. Cheese or whatever. It's just we don't go to fast food, so we're just not around it.
Well, this mom did, and I don't know if I believe her story. She apparently went there, was having a quarter pounder with cheese, whatever she's doing, and her name is Justina Whitmore. She's with her 5-year-old Gabriel. Perfect age to be in one of those playlands, right?
Sure.
5, that's a good age.
What'd he find in the ball pit? What'd he find in the ball pit?
No, it wasn't the ball pit. It was the slide that was the problem. This is in New Hampshire. And she said he came out. She expected him to come out covered in germs. She expected that.
But not feces.
But not covered in just absolute human shit.
Ah,
yeah,
damn.
I know.
Yeah, little kid shit down the slide.
Yeah. I was still eating, and the next thing I knew, he came out and he just stated that there was poop all inside the slide.
God damn
And when he came out, he was covered in poop. And I'm thinking, well, if you noticed there was poop inside the slide, then why would you go,
down
it?
He's mid slide.
Maybe. He said he was playing with another kid who had absolutely filled his diaper with shit. Just, I mean, when you think of one of those diapers filled with shit.
So did it go down the leg or up the back?
It sounds like it covered the whole. As the kid went down the slide, it just covered everything.
Up the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, out the legs and the back, sure. And so when he went down the slide, he couldn't help it, and it went all over me, Gabriel said. But while the accident was bad enough, she claims it was McDonald's response, which was the real problem. And apparently they laughed at her when she said she wanted some soap and towels to clean up her shitty kid. And that's the part where they kind of lose me. I'm like, I just can't imagine any restaurant in America.
Did she talk to the short sleeve dress shirt guy, like the actual manager, or was she just talking to a team member? She just talking to like a Big E, because I could see Big E going, fuck.
I could see him doing that and going, fuck, dude, sorry, I'm a nervous laugher or whatever. But then going and getting you some towels, not like
paper
laughing.
I have a hard time believing, like, is that what you were about to say, right? That someone really would just like laugh in her face and just walk away.
She said, I went over to the counter and said, are you going to give me some paper towels or anything to help clean my son off? And they were just laughing and arguing about who should clean it up. Like, I don't know if I believe all that.
Wait a minute, I don't get it. Like,
she pleaded for assistance for 10 minutes, and employees ignored her.
Dude, at that point, aren't you the fuck out of there? Like,
Yeah.
somewhere else trying to clean this shit off your kid?
I was at the point of just using my bare hands.
Yeah, you're in the bathroom scrubbing this kid down, right? You're not standing there arguing for 10 minutes while your kid stands there.
It sounds like she was arguing for 10 minutes.
well, to me, too, when it says that she walked
She's
over
looking
and said,
for a huge lawsuit is what she's looking for. She's going ding, ding, ding. Ooh, boy, look at this.
Maybe.
well, when she says, like, I walked over just saying, well, are you going to give me towels or what? I mean, was that, I don't understand. Like, did they see this kid?
This
you know,
is
she
the
makes it-
equivalent in her mind of getting a rat head in a Big Mac.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, maybe.
Where you're like, fuck yes.
Dude, would feces on a slide? I think you just expect there's going to be feces on a slide at a.
I guessed it. Didn't surprise me. you know?
Yeah, you knew it right away. What was your first guess? You said
Oh, in the ball
pit.
pit.
in the ball. What's in the ball pit? What's in the ball pit? And it's like, no, it's on the slide. And you went, oh, someone shit on the slide. Like, you knew immediately. I would just expect as a parent, you would like look, really just give it a glance. Like, okay, I know someone at some point today is going
Yeah.
to shit in this slide. Is it now or is it coming later? It could even be my kid. And so she said what she was thinking about using her bare hands to clean him off. And fortunately, one of his socks, it turns out his left sock was not covered in feces. And so she was able to take his left sock off and use that to clean him off.
God, man.
And the whole time I'm like, what are you, like, is there no bathroom? I mean, like, there's a bathroom.
Yeah.
Dip him in the fucking toilet if you have to. Whatever. There's paper towels and...
No, she's after something. She's wanting to make this a big story and sue him.
She says her kid has eczema, so she immediately went to the emergency room to see...
Some skin condition, is that
Isn't that dry skin? Isn't eczema just dry skin?
maybe?
So why would... I mean, you can shit on dry skin, right? Is that... I'm being serious. Like, what is that going to...
Might actually help.
Maybe. Wouldn't that be funny if that's how they found the cure for eczema? Some kid shit on a kid. What does it say?
I mean, just.
What does it say?
I mean, you put Google eczema. The first thing that's going to come up is it's going to define it.
Okay, does it?
It's a term for a group of medical conditions that cause the skin to become inflamed or irritated. All right.
Yeah.
So without more details on what type of eczema he has, we know it's irritated skin.
But he does have the eczema. I guess he'll be all right. I don't know. My thought is whenever I hear that stuff, whenever you get one side of an outrageous story, my thought is, okay, you were either being a really big cunt to them,
Yeah.
or something's amiss there.
Or she's just trying to make it a story, like I said, get a lawsuit out of it.
Well-
Dude, I think, aren't people moving away from those damn things? Like, isn't everybody on to how gross those things are now? I've never seen this before. In Lake Orion, dude, Lake Orion, where living is a vacation, they ripped down a McDonald's, which had a playland, and they're rebuilding a McDonald's right there. I've never seen that.
Why?
It's like it was just the old style structure, and just wanted to give it a new look, give it a new building look. I've never seen a fast food place do that.
They did that to the Burger King on Northwestern when you're coming up to Franklin Road.
Really?
That Burger King, same location, just had the old, and now it's ripped down and it's got the stacked stone.
Fancy new, yeah.
Fancy new.
Looks inviting.
Yeah. And I remember going in there like, oh, I wonder if this means the food's going to be better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, not at all. Exact same
Yeah.
shitty.
But of course, this McDonald's that went up, the new one, doesn't have a playland. That shit's so 80s.
Yeah. I would think that kids would still want to go to those things.
Nah.
Because the playland, they used like when we were little, didn't they have? I know the one when my nana took me to meet Ron McDonald, which was one of the highlights of my life. I can be honest about that. They had like that. What's that horse thing with the big spring and you just?
Oh, dude, if I see one of those today, I will get on that and I try to break it, man. I go full back to the ground.
Yeah.
And I've tried to break those things. Those are amazingly strong.
Yeah, they're fun. You can run into. There's two different ones though. There's the one that's like,
Yes. Won't move.
Go!
Too tight.
and it's impossible.
So what are you riding at that point? A fry guy?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it would be like Mayor McCheese or a fry guy or
Ride Mayor McCheese.
or who didn't they have a chicken that represented
Yeah,
the chicken
absolutely
nuggets?
had a chicken.
It might have been a chicken if chicken nuggets were.
I think he
around
had
then.
like a flight helmet on with goggles, if I remember.
Maybe. Didn't they have? I remember there was a. was it the Big Mac or one of them had like a jail cell, like you could climb up and it had like a jail cell.
Well, that was the Hamburglar.
No, I don't think it was Hamburger. Who was the cop? Who was the cop that was chasing
You guys
Hamburger?
have literally had this exact
I know.
same
This
discussion.
is the third time.
No, but that. Well, who's that? Who's the cop
that's a
right there?
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Quarter pounder, yeah. No, we've gone through this, but we've never discussed
so what is the spring guy? What is that? Is that a fry guy?
That's a fry guy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I don't know.
It's a fry guy with a saddle on his back, man.
Yeah. But I remember those. I don't know when the playpen came in.
Yeah, the
though,
outdoor
that
thing. I would go on that. I would let my kids go on that. But the whole indoor ball pit area with all the plastic slides and shit. It's just like it looks like a petri dish to me.
Yeah. It is. It is. I imagine those things are gross. I wonder if they are taking them out more, like in other places. Or probably not doing them with the new ones.
Right.
I know they've done some retro ones, too. Have you seen those, McDonald's?
No.
Where they go back to like the 50s, like when they started?
With the old signage and everything?
Yeah. Yep. The layout of the building and everything. Anyway, there was a, I don't know if you saw this story, but this teenager who was suspended from work, almost fired actually, worked at a one of those in the mall cookie places, which I can't believe make money. They make like giant cookies.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Those places. His name's Zach Randolph. He was suspended from the Great American Cookies Mall. Ugh, working in a mall, dude. Ugh.
I always thought a mall would be a sweet place to work, to be honest with you. It was one of the places I never did work at.
Maybe it would if you were 15, 16, but...
Over at the merry-go-round or Chess King.
Oh, merry-go-round, dude. That would have been dope. That would have been awesome. That I could have done. Anyway, he bought a police officer a brownie who was in line. And he's like, yeah, cops are mistreated all the time, and I don't think it's fair. He's like 19. He's working there, his job, And so he takes like $2.65 out of his own pocket, and he's like, this one's on me. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And so the family behind him's like, well, you gave him a free cookie.
Come on, man.
We want our free cookie. And he's like, yeah, you don't have a badge. Basically, fuck yourself. I'm not buying you a cookie too. And they're like, what? And so I guess like the guy like put his daughter down and tried to like charge behind the counter and beat the kid up, and the mom's going ape shit. They're demanding their free cookies.
Wasn't there a cop there a second ago?
I think he was gone at this point, but they're calling him racist, so they must have been a black family because he's a white kid.
Yeah.
And so they're calling him racist, like he's only buying this for like white people.
That's creative.
Oh my God. It's unbelievable. And so then they ended up suspending this kid for a week. They wanted to fire him. He's like, once some other employees got the family to calm down, he was like, I'm not done with you. You're going to get fucking, I'm going to have you fired. And the kid's like, oh shit.
So did this guy go to social media then?
No, he went to the boss and was like, yeah, here's what happened. This kid, wouldn't give us blah, blah, blah. And he's giving the other people, whatever bullshit story he said. And the manager, so it gets up to like corporate, like the people that own the whole thing. And they wanted the manager to fire this kid. And the manager's like, I'm not firing him. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? He's like, best I can offer you.
Short sleeve dress shirt, tie. He's going, no, I'm not going to do it. Mustache.
I don't think tie, when you're dealing with dough and there's a lot of churn and stuff, you don't want to have a loose.
Got it tucked in.
Ah, yeah, you can
under
do
the second button.
Yeah, silly. Probably a striped shirt of some sort.
Maybe.
Short sleeve for sure. That goes without saying. And a hat. I don't know if it's paper or what, but there's some sort of hat on.
Right.
But he's like, best I can offer you, ownership, is suspension for a week and a letter that states if an incident like this happens again, he will be terminated. As if
what incident, by the way? You know what I mean?
I know.
Refuses to buy a second cookie for a second customer.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did it say? Hold on. The warning said. Hold on. Oh, fuck. There was a. They actually said how they worded it in the thing. I can't find it. But yeah, they had a thing in there. It was like, oh, okay. So if he buys a cop a cookie and another family demands one, he doesn't give it to him, and it turns into a fight, he will be fired. It was literally like if this
so
exact.
Specific.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, okay, this is retarded. And so the kid's mom posted this on Facebook and was like, what kind of shit is this? Are you kidding me? And so the mall got so many complaints that the owner of the place was like, oh, well, we looked into this thing, and it turns out, boy, we owe our employee an apology. He was, boy, is there egg on our face. You know, we're trying to get a hold of him now to get him back here for work tomorrow. And I don't know where that stands now.
If we could have 10 more employees like Jim.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, imagine being the family behind, like, who are you? Who are you? Like, you see this little pimple-faced kid he's working in a fucking cookie store in the mall. As if life isn't bad enough.
You're a cop hater, number one.
Yeah.
Because you see the cop get something free, and you're like, oh, yeah, really?
Yeah.
How about me? And then you're racist on top of that. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so it sounds like the kid's a hero now. Good for him. I don't know if you've watched any more of your Latour since last night.
I've not.
I haven't either, for the record. But you know what else is going on right now?
What?
In Pamplona, Spain.
Oh, they ran last week, right?
I think they're still running.
I think an American got gored, if I'm not mistaken.
Did. Yeah.
Would you do it?
Would I run with the bull?
Yeah.
Fuck,
would you do it?
no.
Why not?
Would you?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think I would. Isis, you in? Let's do it next year. Next July, me and
maybe,
Isis running with the Bulls.
Maybe.
You get to wear a normcore little tie and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Hell yes.
I look at that like all the other dumb things like that, where it's just like I feel bad for the Bulls. Like you want to be an asshole and get like, why don't you just run in front of cars in traffic?
Well, what are they doing to El Toros? I think I need to know. Los Toros. I apologize.
Right.
What I need to know, I guess, the context of this. What are they doing to the Bulls? What's the end game?
I think they run through
pulling on their nuts afterwards and spiking them. Or
see if you can Google the end game of the running with the Bulls. But I think they run through 900 meters of cobblestone, streets, and then it ends at like an arena where the
a bunch
Bulls
of bull
run
fights. Is that it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I don't want to support that if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, this guy, we had 2 Americans gored on Saturday. I think another couple were gored like last night or something.
Not a good week for the Americans over there, man.
Yeah. Bill Hillmann, he's a writer who he was also gored 3 years ago. And the first time he ran with the Bulls. Dude, all right, Bill, time to hang it up. He was at the San Fermin Festival. He's in stable condition. The bull absolutely rammed a horn through his butt cheek.
More times than not.
Yeah. I mean, that's where they're going to get you. I mean, if they're behind you and you're running in front of them, I mean, that's where you can expect most of it. I tried to jump, but he hit me in the butt. I flew up in the air and landed on my back. I didn't know I was gored at first. Then people pulled me over to the medics. I pulled down my pants. There was blood everywhere. I'm probably going to run tomorrow. So we know
I
he's
didn't
bright.
realize this was like a couple-week situation. Honestly, I thought it was like one event.
Yeah, so did I.
Crazy.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
That cheapens it for me.
He says, I'm probably going to run tomorrow or the next day, but for sure at this festival. So, he says, I'm already walking. The first time I wasn't walking for a week. His wound was less severe than that of a 22-year-old who was also gored on Saturday.
So they do this thing in waves so that there's ultimately a champion crowned? You keep advancing? It's like a
bull
tournament?
runner? Yeah, I don't think so, but I don't know. Because you're right, dude. Now that I think about it, like running with the Bulls.
I thought it was one thing.
In
like
Pamplona, Spain.
You'd randomly be watching the news and, the running of the Bulls this morning. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's that thing.
This guy, Jack Capra of California, he told one of the stations this was his first running of the Bulls. 3 other American, 2 Frenchmen, and 3 Spaniards, all men, needed hospital treatment for injuries. What does it say?
This paragraph is pretty much.
The running of the Bulls began as a way to move bulls from Pamplona's corral to its bullfighting ring. All right, I'm out.
Yeah.
The animals would run through the roughly half-mile stretch as children and adults herded them with shouts and sticks. The practice may date back as far as the 13th century, but it's known to have continued virtually uninterrupted since 1592, when the festival was moved from September to July.
Is there anything from 1392 we need to still be doing today? Seriously.
No.
Is there fucking anything from 1392 that still needs to be done today? I mean, because basically what you're doing...
It's 100 years before Columbus.
Yeah. And so basically what you're saying here is we need to get the Bulls from here to here. We don't have we have trucks now, and they have like we travel with horses anywhere we want. They're like really easy to do. But no, we're going to line the streets with people screaming and shouting and batting these things with sticks. Basically, let's see if we can just scare the dog shit out of an animal that has no clue as to what's going on right now. It's so far out of its natural habitat and state, and you're just fucking with animals.
That sucks.
Dude, this is a serious question. Do people that run with the Bulls or bullfighting or cockfighting or dogfighting, do those people know what assholes they are?
Don't shut down E's cockfights, okay? It's the one thing he has.
Yeah.
Now that TCG is gone, it's the one thing. Don't take that away from him.
All right, we'll leave cockfighting out of it. But do they know they're assholes? Like, how does one justify? I honestly can't wrap my head around, like, oh, yeah, male roosters are really competitive and very, like, there's one cock and he's got his bitches.
Yeah.
And, like, he just fucking, he just walks around.
Yeah, so let's put razor blades on his ankles and have him fight that cock that has those bitches over there.
Yeah. So
I don't get
we
that.
know if they get within, like, 10 feet of each other, their natural instinct is to take their razor sharp hands, their bottom feet, and fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
And so to make it cooler, like you said, we'll strap razors onto their ankles, put them in a box, and just be like, here you go, pal. And they're like, you again. And they just, let's just fight to the death.
But, dude, that's the gambling aspect. You take the gambling away, and it looks a lot.
Bet on a coin toss, then.
People aren't gonna
One's going to win, one's going to lose. Heads or tails
Yeah.
works just as well as murdering animals.
Yeah.
What's the point? I just don't understand it. Well, it's tradition since 1352. Well, whatever. You wore sandals in the fucking desert too. None of that makes sense.
Yeah,
Just-
but Mike, you're
it's
always
just-
you're always trying not to get like words taken away and changes made, and here you want to just put an end to.
I just want to stop killing animals for fun.
Just like the freedom of speech.
fun.
He wants it, Mike wants things changed when it
Abruptly stop.
when he has an opinion about it. When he doesn't, then
Don't
he
get me
wants
wrong, man. I don't want
I
to see
agree.
animals die either. I think it's barbaric and weird, but
Yeah, it sounds like it.
no, I just find it interesting that he picks and chooses, doesn't he?
I don't pick and choose.
Picks and chooses.
There's a
Chooses
big,
and picks.
Sticks and stones, my friends, may break my bones, but names, what is it? How does it go, Jay? Names
Will never hurt me.
That's right. They won't. And so since there's no way, it's impossible to go, there are sensitive people and there are pricks in the world. So there's no real way to decide, like, what's going to offend one person versus the other person. There are people that if you went, oh, hell, man, they'll go, oh, my word, and absolutely offended at that. A lot of people aren't. And so the easy way to go, you know what, fuck it, none of it. We don't regulate any of that stuff. And then it's a bright line. But when you're talking about indiscriminately just murdering animals for fun, I know I eat a lot of animals for food. I get it. I know I'm kind of hypocritical.
I mean,
but
there are laws against cockfighting. Sorry, E. I'm sorry to break that to you. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
The cockfighting, the dogfighting, you're not allowed to do that shit.
Here.
Here. Right. I mean, there's lawless countries, obviously.
Yeah.
But the bullfighting thing is kind of on its own to me. Like, culturally, why the fuck is that still important to them? And because it has no chance. It's tortured. It's crazy.
It's the rigged nature of it that seems so like, oh, what a big man you are taking down that blinded, fucking tortured, half dead,
Sitting there
drugged
on
up
your
bull.
tiptoes. Woo, you know.
Wearing a little faggy
little
outfit
cape.
and a hat. And the best I can hope for, fingers crossed, is that you boob, you trip over your cape and the thing blindly gores you to death.
Saw it a couple weeks ago.
I know. It's the highlight of my year so far. Was seeing that guy get gored after tripping over his own cape.
Cape.
just
you have a cape. You deserve to trip over it.
Or that hat with like he might as well be
It's
wearing
like a Mickey Mouse.
It looks like but it's a bedazzled Mickey Mouse
Yes,
hat.
it is indeed.
And the little, what do they call those? Like
Little knickers, like
the knickers.
Yeah.
And then the big socks and the
sure. It's all very fancy.
I watched a Real Sport. You know Real Sports. He's a guy on
I
HBO.
do. I think the last time we referenced Real Sports, we referenced E's doppelganger, the pinball
right.
wizard.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead. I've gotten a lot of emails about that guy, E.
Yeah. What was his name? Jared or Jacob or
It was something Gagnon or Rob Gagnon or
Ronald?
something.
Whatever. But they were doing one on cockfighting. And one of the things, and you'd be shocked, dude, at how many like cockfighting farms are going on here in this country, like in the South.
E, you don't wear razor blades during that, do you?
God, maybe that's why his toenails were the way they
Yeah.
were. Was that for your
I don't
cockfighting?
I don't know, dude. Whatever.
That's what happened to his butt crack.
But they show these guys in like Mississippi or Georgia, And they're down there, and they got these farms. They're like, "This is American. This is my right. We've been doing this for 100 years. We'll be doing it for 1,000 more." And they've got these big, brilliant birds they're petting, and
beautiful birds.
And they train them and all this stuff. But the people that are trying to bust a lot of this stuff, the feds and stuff, like they took a flight up over these properties and like look down there and see and you just see these like boxes. Every 4 feet, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a cockfighting training grounds." And these guys are just like have acres of land. And it's like,
and the rest of the land has marijuana growing on it.
right. It's like, well, okay, well, why don't we start there then? How about we go down there and open those boxes, and whatever's in there we take away.
Here's a real live cockfight.
Is
this guy going to take it out of his jeans? Like, is he going to unzip and just
I don't
go? Or
know.
Is the guy in the green and the blue pants, does he have a real big dong or something he's going to come swinging in with?
He better, because he's not in a cockfighting position right
No.
now. They should probably get those birds out of the way, too.
No.
Maybe that's
Trip
part
on
of the
those
obstacle.
birds.
It's nice to see they've got Jesus in their life, though. Did you see the cross?
Yeah, right.
There, I mean, it's good to have a little Jesus in your life when you're doing some serious cockfighting.
Sponsored by Corona.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Corona. Maybe it's just me, dude.
A lot
Maybe
of
I'm
it's the betting, dude. You take the betting out of that, and
It's all about the betting, isn't it? Like, I mean,
no. There's a violence aspect that's in human nature. The reason when a fight breaks out in the stands, all of a sudden the game or concert doesn't matter anymore, and everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, look at those guys." There's something about that we as humans like. There's a
boxing matches, but
and there's an adrenaline to it, though. And so there's something there.
I don't get the sense that people are sitting around a ring watching two cocks fight
they're
if
all
there's
betting.
not money on it.
Oh yeah, you're totally. But there's the reason my idea wouldn't work. A coin toss is because there's something to watching these things absolutely slowly murder themselves. Yeah, the physical battle of it. But anyway, why don't we take a quick break?
Sure.
I mean, we've spent enough time on miscarriages and cockfighting today. I think we warrant a break. I got an update on the hot felon.
Oh man, Jeremy Meeks. Why do I know that name? It kills me that I know the guy's name, Jeremy Meeks. I can picture his just striking blue eyes staring back at me right now.
You know what he's been nicknamed?
The hot felon.
Well, the hot felon goes without saying, but the blue-eyed bandit.
There you go.
Yeah. What's it? Steel. What's the look?
Blue Steel.
Blue Steel. Yeah, it's kind of a play on Blue Steel. Update on him. What do you think? Things going great?
Things are not going well.
They're not?
No.
But he's got this. Well, we'll talk about it. That and Green Day taking some shit over the weekend too.
Heard about that?
Did you? Yeah. So we'll get into that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi, Michael Kowalski here, a.k.a. the Sausage King of Detroit. Everyone knows Kowalski sausages have been satisfying folks for over 4 generations. That's right, my dad's sausages, his dad's sausages, his dad's sausages, and even my sausages have been satisfying customers for almost 100 years. We call that Kowalski quality. So for your next feast, choose Kowalski and just tell them Mike sent you.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jake.
Like, there's a couple housekeeping matters I think we should attend to.
Yeah.
Podcast awards.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you remember those.
I do. We're the Susan Lucci of those things.
We are, yeah. So here's the process. Apparently they're looking to improve this from last year, years prior, where there's a lot of shenanigans, I think, with voting going on.
I know. People were writing to me going, dude, you know this is so rigged for, like, Podcast One.
Yeah.
You know, like those groups. Podcast One is just
they have all
group.
these disclaimers all over their website.
Yeah.
You know, that we are affiliated with Podcast One, FYI.
Yeah, and so it's rigged for those shows. Like, the way it works, I assume most people know, like, we're kind of a... I mean, yeah, we're with Podcast Detroit, IT and the D. You've heard them on our show, and they've got a conglomerate under their umbrella with a bunch of shows, and we're kind of a rogue show. Like, we haven't teamed up with anybody, or we're kind of doing our own thing.
We're a lone wolf, Mike.
We're basically a lone wolf. You can get our show on Podcast Detroit's umbrella, and we'll see where that goes. But a lot of shows do that, where they're all grouped under this umbrella, and I think what they were doing is a lot of those groups were voting for each other's show.
Totally.
Like, they've never listened to them, but it's just like you've got a show with 100 listeners, and it's like, we'll get our 100 listeners to vote for your show if you get your 10,000 listeners to vote for ours. And so they would all do that. And that's why it was like, boy, oh boy, this is that's why people were so pissed. Like, dude, this is bullshit. You're not actually voting on the best podcast. You're just, you're
Well, we're going to give it a try again this year.
But that's what they're trying to fix this year.
Yeah.
They've got a different system this year, and they claim they've fixed all that. That's why it's like, okay, this is a little more exciting this year.
They're opening up the nomination step of this. I mean, in the past, we had just been picked to be nominated.
Right.
Now they're kind of like stepping back one and going, okay, public, nominate podcasts. So go to podcastawards.com. There you will find us listed under comedy, entertainment, mature, and people's choice. Those are 4 separate categories.
Yep.
If you go in there, you can click on us and nominate us for any or all of those, preferably all of those.
Yep.
And then we'll see where that goes.
And then you save your nomination. At the end of it there, you just click Save Nominations, and then they will send you an email that, what?
I know, it's another stop. Send you an email, and you got to then click an OK.
Yeah, confirm yourself. That
I
this
know
is
even a couple
real
clicks
email.
are annoying to everybody, but if you could do it, it'd be helpful to us.
Yeah.
So podcastawards.com. Check us out on the nominations for comedy, entertainment, mature, and people's choice. Mature. Also, Prime Day for Amazon is coming up tomorrow, 7/11.
Yes.
And as you know, we have an affiliate link with Amazon on DetroitCast.com. There you will find it. So go to our homepage. If you shop through that link, we get whatever we get whatever kudos through Amazon that Amazon will give us.
Careful.
And you can use that, and that'd be great. So you use our link. And the trick is you've got to go through our link. You can't just go to Amazon.com and think that we're going to get any credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
So go through our link. We'd like to introduce you to Prime Day on 7/11 in particular, where you will get a ton of good deals, apparently. It's sort of a Black Friday situation.
Mm-hmm. And for any new listener, DetroitCast.com, on the right side of the page, you'll see an Amazon link. That will take you right to Amazon. It doesn't cost you any more money, whatever. So anyway, please do that, especially for Prime Day when a lot of people do their Amazon shopping, and you guys have been great in years past. We appreciate that for sure. Hey, I feel like I owe you guys an apology for springing that whole miscarriage thing on you guys earlier.
It's a little weird. It was a little weird.
Yeah, I felt bad as I went to the break. I honestly didn't mean to do that to you guys. Beth and I have dealt with it for the last week. So it wasn't quite as, we're in a good place with it.
Uh-huh.
And the fact is neither of us wanted kids. And so it wasn't
great news out of Franklin.
Well, it was totally unexpected. And it was more like, oh, what the fuck just happened? What was that? And I don't want to.
It just fell out of me.
I want to be clear and not make Beth look like a monster at all. She doesn't want kids. And I don't know what she would have done had this not happened. I would have obviously been supportive no matter what that decision would have been. My natural
Look at he's just smiling.
Well, no, honestly,
as Mike rewrites history here in the second half of the show.
No. Well, you got to understand, man. The reason I'm even talking about this right now is because
why are you?
Because, like I said, Beth and I had been dealing with this for a few days and had gotten to the point where we were kind of laughing about it, like, oh, whatever, and that's my natural move for anything. Anytime a subject matter gets uncomfortable, I make a joke
of
about
course,
it. You know,
it's
that's just
coping
my
mechanism.
natural. Yeah, that's my coping mechanism. It is, and it's gotten me in trouble my whole life.
Right.
And I could tell by the reaction on your faces that it was like, holy fuck, this is a really serious thing, and I didn't want to make it sound like, especially Beth. I don't care if you think I'm a monster. I am a monster, but she's not, and I didn't want to make her look like that. So.
I was more concerned.
The record is clear.
That if the kid had happened, how would it affect me? And I feel like it would affect me quite a bit.
Well,
yeah,
if the kid was birthed.
Yeah, it would have been like, E, we're going to the Journey concert. You have to watch this kid. You wouldn't know what the kid.
No,
no, that's
dude,
not what I mean. I don't mean
be...
that. I mean, like, now Mike has to.
Yeah, we have to alter times. Guys, I'm breastfeeding again today. We're going to need to push the show back.
Picture Mike laying on his side. He's got Bear on one nipple, baby Mike Jr. on the other.
Oh, could you imagine? You know, the thing is, I've basically been a father before. I mean, like with Bear, for instance. Like, do you have any idea what it's like to get up every 2 hours and bottle feed someone?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, whose life depends on you and keeping it alive, and it relies on you for everything, and it's almost worse than having a baby because I don't know. It just feels like it's...
No, it's not, because you can let it cry and it'll be fine.
Well, they do. They cry and they want to go out. And they don't... It's not like they come out potty trained. I don't know if you know this, but they don't.
I know.
And
God, that little Bear has gotten big, though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Big girl.
Didn't see her for a week. She's tripled in size, man, since the last time I saw her. Oh, yes, she has.
You think so?
Oh, yes, she has.
Yeah. This time was the first time it's
huge.
noticeably like,
really?
Holy crap, it's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I see her more often than you guys do. Yeah, she's gotten to the point now where she can break out of her enclosure up there. Like, I'll come downstairs.
She's huge. We could have put a time-lapse camera on this dog over a week and seen it just expand.
So I'm like, I can't believe how smart German Shepherds are. Like, I'm like, okay, well, Bear, I see you broke out of your enclosure. It's nice that you're traipsing around the house chasing the cats. That's very nice of you. But you need to stay in here. And I've got this whole penned-off area. She's got plenty of room to, when we're down here doing this, I can't just have her running through the house.
Right.
And so... I'm like sleeping, and this morning, Beth will bring her over in the morning, first thing, and then I'll still sleep for a couple hours, and I come down, and Bear's just like, yep, I'm just chilling here in the living room, don't mind me. And it's like, Bear, what are you doing out here?
Makes you wonder where she peed. Right?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Like, okay, where is the shit or pee or whatever? And she's found a way to like jump up. She's so big now, like you say, that she can push the pen thing and just give herself enough of an opening when it separates from whatever it's leaning against.
Smarty pants.
Yep. And so I'm like, okay, Bear, I got you figured out. I'm gonna put something heavy there. And she pushed. So I had this giant cat scratch toy. It's like 4 stories. It's solid wood. It's heavy. And so I put
4
that
stories.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. And so I put that up against the corner and this thing, and she still found a way to like, oh, I can't push it forward, but I can pull it back, and then I can just walk through there.
She's a smart.
Yeah. And so then
She's
I had
a cute and a smart.
Yeah. And so now I've rigged it so she can't, she can't push it either way, and we'll see what her next. It's balls in your court, Bear.
Her move.
Yeah. It's her move is right, and we'll see how she figures out how to break free now.
Hey, everybody. Another thing on our website, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. This page includes businesses owned by listeners, so it's important that you support them. Take a look. It'd be great to support the supporters of our show. There you will find today our...
Sorry about that.
Mike. What happened? Our featured businesses.
Yeah.
He's flustered.
I've been flustered. It's been a rattling day for me.
He just lost a kid.
Good point. It's a life altering. Hey, our featured businesses this week are Arnold Roofing, free estimates, licensed and insured. They serve Southeast Michigan. They specialize in roofing and gutters. Their end game is customer satisfaction. Moreover, exquisite kitchen designs. Check them out as well. They have a beautiful showroom in South Lyon that's open for business. They do kitchens, bathrooms, and basement bars. How about that?
Well.
And they have cabinet lines that can fit anyone's budget, and it's all made in the USA.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
So check out that page. It's under the Help the Show tab, the Listener Business Network.
And there's some great businesses on there. Lots of things. So please help them out as they continue to help us out. Are you guys familiar with the show? I think it's Made in Chelsea.
No.
Have you heard of that, E?
Like Chelsea, Michigan?
No, I don't think so. But I guess there's some chick, Chloe Green, on there. She's an heiress to some. Her dad's like some disgraced billionaire. I don't know who he is. But they call her a star, the Made in Chelsea star, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh wait,
who
isn't
that
the
is.
girlfriend of the new Pistons draft pick on there? Am I imagining that?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's probably one of those like, Housewives of whatever types of shows would be my guess. Those are really popular right now. But you remember Hot Convict? I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah. Jeremy Meeks.
Yeah. That was actually more shocking than anything. The fact that you knew the name Jeremy Meeks. Well, last week, dude, Hot Convict Jeremy Meeks was caught on camera on this super yacht with this Chloe Green chick, like making out.
Okay.
And so, yeah, his wife, remember he's got that wife.
Right.
And the kids back home. Some listener or fan of his or whatever, or hers on Instagram was like, so what's up with us? And like Instagram photo sent this picture to her. And this is how she found out that Jeremy was banging some other broad on this super yacht.
The trappings of the game, Jeremy. The trappings of the game.
Look at that. This dude was in the Crips.
I know.
Like 2 years ago.
Now he's standing on a yacht and where? Like the Bahamas or some shit? Look at this guy.
You realize he can't like own a firearm or vote, right? And here he is with a billionaire on a yacht who it took him, 3 weeks to get in the game and then on with his life. Buddy.
Oh, no, I was saying, I guess that's just her. I was trying through the pictures.
Dude, I thought this guy was so clearly on the road of, oh, yeah, sure, model. Yeah, you're going to be a, quote, model. He was going to see somebody that E saw for an extra on the Detroiters is what I thought that whole thing was going to be.
No, it
and
sounded
you're
like
never going to hear from the guy again. And
those vultures, it's like, I just have as many D-list celebrities as I can.
Right.
And just keep pimping them out at $3,000 a pop.
Sydney Leathers.
Yes. I get my third of whatever this cache of bullshit celebrities does. And that's exactly what that felt like. But this guy hit a home run with Jeremy Meeks. He got him out of jail. Chicks liked him. Agencies were like, oh, yeah, man. I mean,
it's got a look.
It's cool now. The redemption thing is really cool. Oh, troubled childhood, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gang member who's turned his life around. No one's even asked, like, dude, you got that Crips teardrop under your eye, which usually means you killed someone. Like, is anyone going to ask a question about that? Is anyone going to go, dude, is that like a real teardrop thing? Like what it usually represents? Or I want to know more about this possible murder in your past that no one seems to ask about. Anyway, so
his redemption now. He paid his debt to society, Mike.
He did his 9 years for being caught with an illegal firearm and robbing someone or whatever it was. Okay. We still haven't. I don't feel like we've covered the murder possibility.
But I feel like you're looking for you're looking for the little. Oh, we'll just put this in here now and.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of good reporters who could just like ask a question or two. You know, let him say, no, man, this is just to make me look tough and shit. But his wife has talked to the press a little bit. She had no idea he was enjoying this little liaison with Miss Green while out on a working trip to Turkey. He's modeling in Turkey now, too. She's the wife, it sounds like she's putting a lot of blame on the other woman, too.
They always...
Which is weird.
I never get that with chicks.
It's weird, man. I've been listening to the radio over the last week and heard two little survey things talking about if your man cheats, who do you blame, your man or the girl?
Yeah, and girls tend to do the girls, don't they?
They're exact opposite. The one was like, oh, totally the guy. You got to blame your boyfriend. That's ridiculous. He's cheating on you. You can't blame the girl. She doesn't always know.
Yeah.
And then the other one's like, fuck her. She knows. She knows.
Is so weird. The person that you're cheating with doesn't have a connection to you or whoever you're with. Like the person you're with is the one you're mad at. You can harbor ill will.
I can see both because the cheater, the girl who he's cheating with knows as well.
I think a lot of times they don't, though.
Sometimes, but dude, I get it, and I totally understand why a woman or a guy would go fuck that guy or fuck that woman forever. Totally. But the one where you pointed like, dude, you're in a relationship with X.
Yeah.
That's the one that cheated on you. I don't give a shit if he fucked a dog or a girl down the street.
Or how hard that person came on to him.
Right.
He's with you. He's supposed to be committed to you.
Yes. But I agree with E. You see that a lot out of women where it's like, that bitch, blah, blah, blah. Like, women tend to do that where they, like, somehow, like, almost, like, well, I'm mad at him too, but fuck her. Fuck that bitch. And it's like,
yeah, and she'll take him back in a second, but fuck her.
Yeah.
And I'll go another way. Like, I feel like, and again, it's always in, I know this all, like, in generalities.
You got
is that
this,
right?
E. You got this.
So is that right? Fuck
well
you.
put.
Yeah.
But whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean. guys, I think more often than not, guys, you find a girl cheating and you're just like, well, okay, see ya, bye. And girls, like, not only will they get mad at the girl that was cheating on with their guy, but they have talks all the time where it's like a girl knows, like, I find out that this girl's cheating, like my girlfriend's being cheated on, and they tell them, like, hey, Jessica, I think your boyfriend's cheating on you. And girls will get mad at the girl, the friend that told them that it happened.
Would you say something? If you had a buddy that was cheating on a girl, you knew both, would you say something like, if your friend, I'm cheating on Beth, would you go to Beth and be like, dude?
No.
Ooh, really? I'm just going to let that continue. You're going to let my bad behavior continue like that.
Wow, that's actually, but it's like,
I wouldn't tell on you either, for the record. Just saying.
But you know what I mean, though? That just seems odd.
It would depend on the couple.
I think,
yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
So you don't care enough about Beth and I to tell. Would you tell me if Beth was cheating on me? You walked into a bar in Lake Orion.
I would.
You walk into a bar in Lake Orion with Gab and Sarah Titties, and Beth is in the corner, and her and this black guy are just making out like
on a black dude.
He's like trying to finger her under the table. It's obvious. It's embarrassing.
Yes.
And you're trying to just not look at her like, oh my God, Sarah, Gab, that is Beth, right? And they're like, oh fuck yeah, that's Beth. I remember when she bought that shirt. That's definitely Beth.
Yes.
When do you tell
text.
me?
Like picture, text.
Really?
Click. Yeah.
Would you set it up like, dude, I hate to be the bearer of bad, because what if I take it out on you and then our show suffers?
I'd be like, can you confirm? Is this Beth?
Looks like this is Beth making out with this dude.
Pretty sure you got her that shirt. Those look like really large panties for her size.
Right.
It looks like something you would have bought her.
Huge panties poking out the top of her pants. Just
No, the guy's trying to finger her, and he's pulling them down, and
Yeah.
it just looks like tremendously oversized panties she's wearing. You would, like, right away?
Yep.
You wouldn't even think about it because I think it would be hard, dude. That would be hard to go to your buddy, because that's a real fear that your buddy's going to then forever look at you and go,
what did I do?
Well,
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Girls will do that, though. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I know from experience from
That's
hearing
true.
other girls. Girls will get as mad at the friend that told them that their boyfriend's cheating on them. And
Or not believe.
Who do you know that's mad at you for doing?
Not me. I've heard of
Is this
people.
reality TV or what?
No, this is absolutely true, Jay. There are women who will go, I saw your boyfriend at a bar making out with another guy. And the guy comes home and the girl goes, motherfucker, so-and-so saw you making out at the bar. No, I wasn't. And then they believe him, and she's a liar now. Why are you trying to break up me and my man? And so that scenario
That's
happens.
why I would have taken the picture.
Well, yeah, but you're a lawyer, though. You're always thinking one step ahead. You want to protect yourself. That's not for me. That's protect yourself when I go, I believe her. She's the love of my life. You're a fucking liar, Jay.
No, that never even occurred to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad to know.
That's just the way I'd break it to you. Just like, click.
Well, it's just
send. No comment.
You would, too. You totally would.
Yeah.
Dude, check it out. Sorry.
What's up with this?
And the thing is, to me, it's just so interesting. Like,
You know this is going on?
What's up with this? You would.
Yes.
That's not a joke.
I don't know why that's odd.
Because I think most people go, dude, Jay, I'm sorry, man. I hate to be the one to break this to you, but I feel like,
oh, right. I'd
as
say
a
something
friend,
like
no,
that,
you
maybe.
wouldn't. I think you would absolutely send me a picture where it's like his hand is going down her pants, but you can still see enough to make out it's her, and you go, dude, what's up with this?
I'd try to soft landing it.
Nah, I don't think you would. I don't think you would. You're more of a brick landing than a feather.
Yeah.
You would, dude. What's up with this? Did you know about this? Send.
well,
Are you in on this?
And that's basically what this girl did. Like, hey, just so you know, what's up with this? And then just send a picture of this dude making out with her. So anyway, what were you going to say? E?
well, I don't know. I don't know if this is. I'm trying to decide if this is relevant or not. But when I was camping at the forest, the three guys next to
Happy
us.
forest, by the way.
Thank you. You too. If you were there, I would say it anyway.
Give him a hug, Mike.
We're not at the forest. You can only do it when you're at the forest. So, no, but our neighbors next to us, they have three guys. You know, they have a long drive home. They want to get going. They want to get going fast. So the one guy is like, "Hey, we can do this in shifts, man. I'll even drive." And it turns out this guy's had a few tickets, and like if he gets another ticket, he loses his license. They got some shit in the car. They all got stuff. The one
I
guy.
hope this is coming full
I know,
circle at
'cause
some
this is
point.
a ton of detail.
Yeah, we are way off track.
So anyway,
here.
the point is there was just this delicate thing of where the other two do not want this guy to drive.
Yeah, what's his favorite color?
But they don't want to. They don't want to like say it like
What's
that.
he
'Cause then
wearing
it starts
at
a
this point?
fight, and it's just
Kind of footwear. Is it like
you,
sandals
fine.
or
You know, you guys
slip-ons?
No.
boy.
You guys tell you.
No,
okay.
you just finish.
Oh, he's in a fucking stew
No.
now.
It's too far down the line. Just finish. Go.
The point is, it's just a weird thing of like they don't want to start this fight, and we all play these games all the time where people say, "Oh, dude, I don't want someone talking about behind my back. I don't be truthful with me." But how much do we really want? And it's interesting to me the delicate games we all play with each other where you find someone cheating on yourself and you are worried that maybe by telling them you look bad and you're trying to like, I don't know. It's just very interesting to me.
Yeah, I just haven't been in this situation a lot. I don't know.
But you're in that situation. But everyone's in that situation in a regular life where there's, people have things that you want. You're not. You're kind of an asshole. But most people care a little more, and most people try to soft landing things. Most people try to sit there and go like, dude, I'm kind of got an issue with Mike, but I don't really want to talk to him about it.
Oh yeah, that's just say it, man.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't do that.
Well,
though.
they should.
They should, and you'll find that most people have way more respect for the people that just go, "Here's what it is, man. Now, how do we go forward with this? How do we deal with this?" And it's very, very hard for most people, not assholes like you, Jay. For most normal people, that is very, very hard, and they struggle with those conversations. Do I want to be the bearer of bad news? Do I want to? So I get that. I've been there, and I'm trying to do better at that. And just go, you know what, dude? Here's what it is. Fuck off. It's this.
God, you mere mortals struggle. This must be hard.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
I just want to be liked. I don't want anyone to be mad at me.
Well, like I said,
I feel like it's going to turn back on me, and then it's like, oh, man, I ruined the marriage now. If I just would have shut my mouth and maybe said something on the download of Gab, and we could have got through this, but now there's this mess, and I ruined everything.
You like conflict, Jay, to the point, honestly. And
he doesn't like he loves conflict.
Right.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm sorry, but you can say in the case of my friend situation.
I don't mind it.
In the case of my friend situation, where the other two just don't want this guy to drive because he tends to be a reckless driver, and one of them's trying to get citizenship. I know you would.
Wait, is this Jim or Tim? I'm trying to keep him straight.
I know you would just sit there and go, dude, we can't have it. But a lot of people don't like to do that. Then it creates this weirdness in the car ride. Okay, well, you say that, but a lot of people don't.
When I was
God forbid the weirdness in the car ride.
When I was
you're right.
When I was showing off tremendous skill at the washer.
Yeah.
Did I mention that to you guys?
Did.
I did. One of the guys I was playing against.
You ledged it, right? Ledgered?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
First 2 games ever played.
Oh, wow. We have to hear this 500 times. Oh, well, I'm just...
I didn't, dude, I did.
This is amazing.
I posed it. I didn't remember if I'd mentioned it to you, and I was just laying a little context out there. I could have gone down some weird road about driving with a bunch of friends.
Some guy
I don't even know where
sandals.
that was going. Whatever. But when I was there, the guy whose house it was, his name is Jeremy, and he was playing against me, so we had time to talk. Now, he was saying, oh, boy, these fireworks. Holy shit, man. Now, he's just moved into a new house, okay? This is his housewarming party. And he said there was a neighbor 2 doors down, and they're blasting off fireworks in the backyard. And I'm thinking, okay, what? They could do that till 6 in the morning. I'm a new neighbor here. I'm not ruffling feathers. And he's like, hey, it's 10 o'clock at night, man. I got kids trying to sleep. It's a fucking Monday. He's like, I went out on my deck and just went, hey, asshole, it's 10 o'clock on a Monday. We got kids trying to sleep here.
Yeah, that's bold.
And I went, wow.
That's bold.
That's balls.
Setting the tone.
Yeah.
And
it
not
was
a very good tone, probably.
Like, out of the gate. I mean, there's still boxes that need to be unpacked.
I wouldn't go there.
I think you would.
Nah.
You'd go down there and knock on his door. Tell him. Anyway, back
put
to...
a BB in his dog's ass. That's for sure.
Yeah, you do that for sure. So anyway, back to this chick. She says, I know it takes 2 to tango. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, my God, she's giving Jeremy Meekson out here. I know it takes 2 to tango, but she knew he was married. Guess who else knew he was married?
Guess who you're committed to and who's supposed to be committed to you?
Yeah.
The only one that matters here is him and his commitment.
Yeah. To me, that is unforgivable. It's unforgivable of her because she, the heiress to a billionaire, knew he was married. Okay, my marriage wasn't perfect, but I thought it could be saved until this happened. Of course I'm angry at her. Well, I'm angry at him too. It's all been so public. They weren't even trying to be discreet. I've been publicly humiliated, which makes the pain so much worse. She's barely slept, blah, blah, blah. I went into shock. I felt nauseated when I first saw the picture. I thought Jeremy was working. So she tries to reach him, and all of a sudden, his phone's not working. He's not answering phones, texts, nothing. He's like, when he finally gets, back to her 4 days later, he's like, yeah, my shit wasn't working in Europe and stuff. What are you going to do? And she's like, dude, you were posting like jet ski pictures all over Europe before this incident. It's crazy. So yeah, she goes on to say that their first contact was when he landed in Los Angeles. He said something like, yeah, I need to come over and pick up the kids and shit for 4th of July. And he did. And then they got into a big fight when he dropped him back off. But here's where the thing is, he kept apologizing and all that, but he wasn't apologizing for cheating. he was apologizing. Like, I'm so sorry that you found out this way. I'm
This
just
way.
this is not how I wanted this to go down. And she's like, okay, no, I just feel terrible that you had to find out this way.
Via Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. She says, yeah, he at one point was arrested for beating a 16-year-old boy to a pulp, and and described by police in Stockton as one of the most violent criminals in the Stockton area.
Straight out of Stockton.
She says, the man I know, though, was kind and loving. That's all I know. He's a good dad, a kind man. The marriage went into a seismic shift once he found fame, which was surprising to me.
So weird.
You know how that works. Like, incredible timing.
Yeah, it just
It's
lined
the
up.
opportunity to jump on yachts with billionaires' heiresses. It went awry.
Wow, how did that happen? His police mugshot went viral in 2014. I took my marriage vows very seriously. I vowed to be there in sickness and health, good times and bad. When Jeremy went to jail for 2 years, I stuck by him. I went and visited him, supported our family on my own, sent money to him in jail. It never occurred to me to leave him. I mean, you know, we were committed. When the mugshot went viral, I was very proud. I saw it as an amazing opportunity for the family. But Melissa
He saw it as an opportunity for.
But Melissa was devastated to find herself frozen out of her husband's glamorous new world. That's weird. Huh? Jeremy was being pitched as the hot felon. His image didn't fit with a man who had a wife and kids. Fame changed him. His head was turned. Sex sells. He's a sexy guy, and he didn't want his wife there. He was being so it started. You know, it started where he was hanging out with celebrities. I wanted to be a part of the world too. We argue about it, but he spent increasing amounts of time away from home, and when he came home, we fought.
What a strong relationship, man. You can't tame the Meeks, man.
Dude, she's a nurse supporting. He can't get a job or hold a job because of his felony background. And so he's basically got kids, and he's a good dad. She's a nurse. And then it's like, oh, by the way, here's a bunch of money if you want to go take some pictures.
Money and fame.
And it turns out, who knew, but he was a natural at walking down a runway. Like, I mean,
1 foot in front of the other? Is that
yeah.
how yeah?
It didn't, like, there's a
turn at the end?
There's a turn, you know, you do your little turn on the
Not
catwalk.
everybody can do that.
On the catwalk, do your little turn on the catwalk. And that's where a lot of people get tripped up, is when you do your little turn on the catwalk. And it turns out the guy's just a natural.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me with that. I don't know if I told you the story about the Washers game I was playing.
It's amazing.
But he's like a natural like that, where it's like he could do that turn, rarely fell. And so it was a perfect fit. And all of a sudden it was just like, oh, wow, I got to pick of all these bitches and money. And so, yeah.
The trappings of fame.
So they've admitted that it's just not going to work out. And they are, in fact, going to be divorcing.
Speaking of fame, did you see that Big E from the Detroit cast is going to be taking on all comers at the hot dog eating contest at Hillmann Pub?
Wait, the Big E?
Yeah.
The Big E?
The Big E from the Detroit cast. Can you beat him and be top dog? That's the question. Sunday, July 23rd at 1 p.m. Registration at 12 p.m. This is the 22-mile and Hayes Hillmann Pub location. 50 contestants, as many hot dogs as they can eat in 5 minutes. $10 participation fee with proceeds to benefit Hillmann Holiday Fund. So get that on your calendars, everybody. It's a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
July 23rd, 1 o'clock.
The only problem I have with that, it makes it sound like the Big E is like an eating champion.
Yeah.
And like you get an opportunity to take on the Big E.
It's sort of like a WWE guy.
Yeah.
In. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You want to go? And it's like he's probably going to eat
the crowd parts, and here he comes. Here comes fucking E. Yeah, he's going to eat like 2.5.
He's going to eat 1.5 hot dogs. You're like, dude, I came here to take on the Big E.
But he utilizes all orifices. That's the key with the Big E.
But they can too. No one's saying they can't
but
jam
nobody
a few.
stoops to that level. Only E will do that.
I can't wait to just be there and hang out with people and watch it. Like I want to have a hot dog. I think Kowalski is going to be
absolutely
doing
Kowalski quality.
Hell yes, we've got a neat little teamwork going on here, and so I want to sit back and enjoy them. I'll have like 4 hot dogs. I don't care. But E's going to try to win this.
He's going to go.
What do you think, E? How many do you think you can eat?
5 minutes, dude. I don't know.
You gotta eat the bun too.
I know.
You gotta put down 6 or 7. Right?
I'm hoping I can do at least 5.
Are you gonna practice?
You know what? I gotta be honest. 1, I ate a lot of hot dogs over the week off, and 2,
they were Kowalski, weren't they?
Some of those hot dogs were Kowalski hot dogs. Yes, I got. What did I get with the skin? What do we say in the end? I got the skinless.
You got them and ate them.
I'm trying to remember.
This was your purchase.
Skinless.
Neither of us were there.
Like skinless Polish sausage or
I'm
I
not
don't know.
tracking the
doesn't-
Frankfurters.
Whether you got the cheddar cheese filled ones
Whatever,
or
I got
skin
some.
or skin, it's irrelevant to
All
us.
right, I got some and I ate them and they were good. So
All right, so 6 or 7
Yeah.
orally. What do you think? 2, 3 anally. Couple in your
least.
ears.
not shoving
least.
any up my ass.
Hi, Mrs. Fady, by the way.
Yeah, good morning.
I don't know. I'm
He's-
hoping for 5. I think 1 a minute. That's a lot, man.
I think you should train. Dude, when I saw Kobayashi training for like the
Expanding his stomach, right?
dude, he would go into this like for the shrimp eating contest and stuff. He would go into this sushi restaurant, and it was one of those where they had the rotating. Have you ever seen those
Yeah.
where they got bowls and you just pick off whatever you want?
Sure.
And this thing comes around. He had like 80 plates stacked. Like these bowls are stacked piles,
What a thing.
and
man.
he's
What a
just like
weird thing.
hunk. And he's taking it serious. He's being a pro, dude.
Well,
and
he's
so
a
for
champ,
E to be
a
like,
world champion.
well, over the weekend I barbecued a couple Kowalski
Yeah.
dogs, so I feel like I'm in training. No, dude.
Is there anyone that ever even touched Kobayashi and Chestnut? Like, Chestnut's the current champion.
Yeah.
And he has been for a few
What
years.
happened to Kobayashi?
I don't know. He flamed out. It's a tough game you're in,
Well, he was Kobayashi. That's who it is, right? Kobayashi.
Yeah.
Kobayashi was the Tiger Woods of the
Totally.
sport for years, and Chestnut.
Well, he put the sport on the map.
Yeah,
Kobayashi.
true. Chestnut came out of left field one year. It was like an overwhelming upset, and it was like holy shit. I mean, that rattled Kobayashi.
Definitely.
I think he beat him the next. I think Chestnut won again the next year, and then Kobayashi's just like gone now.
Yeah, I know.
And Chestnut's
It's out of
just
the game.
dominating.
No, half of the novelty was like, watch this little Japanese dude with the headband on.
Look at him go! Look
know?
at him! He's skinny.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Just putting him down.
Chestnut's huge. Like you just assume it's going to be like some fucking humongous guy that goes by Tiny, that puts down.
Gross.
Yeah, that puts down 8,000 wings in 2 minutes. But it's not. It's these little burners, man. Which makes me think E's got a chance.
The Big E.
The Big E, if he takes it seriously.
I'm taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And I want to win.
We should do that one day. We don't even have to do it on the air. Maybe we do it for extra content. Like we boil a bunch of hot dogs
Sure.
or grill them up, put 10 of them down, and give E the water to dip the buns in.
I'm not doing the water dipping.
Maybe it'll help.
Dude, it's
Well, I know it helps. It must
dude, they
help.
ball it up and they mash it in their mouth. But it works.
Yeah.
But E's going to take. Fine, you can take an E on that. But if we do it like a test run
Later this week, we got
later
it.
this week, and
Yeah.
we'll just see. All right, we'll time it. Give him 5 minutes and see how
An
fast he
actual
can do
grill? You don't have an actual grill, do you?
it. I do have a grill.
Okay. Because I don't
Does
want
it work?
I don't want them in the
Yeah.
water bullshit.
Yes, of course my grill works.
Okay, well, I don't want them. You know what I mean? I don't want them boil in the water bullshit.
Hmm.
That's not how you eat a hot dog.
He's picky now. Yes,
I grilled some on sticks the other night. How about that, E?
I like
Wow.
doing that
Yeah.
over the fire.
Yeah.
That is, I'm into that.
Yeah, the same night you were doing the s'mores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn s'mores. Overrated.
The Reese's.
Reese's, they did sound good.
We have some posts, Mike.
What do we got?
Well, Philadelphia. It's interesting. I'm going to hold off on the fact.
Rocky.
I'm going to hold off on the fact about Independence Hall because I want E to regurgitate something that he knows about Independence Hall.
Oh,
Sup, fellas? Hope you're all enjoying your Independence Week break. Well deserved. Well, except for E. Can our resident history buff tell us anything in this blurb about Independence Hall? If he can, give him this gold star. He's affixed a gold star, Tom.
Wow.
it has to be
Excellent.
from the blurb that's on the thing already.
There has to be
I've
some-
been to Independence Hall.
Okay,
I
then
will
you
say
should
that.
know all about this. What is the significance of Independence Hall?
For one, I definitely believe that that's where, when they made the Declaration of Independence, that's where they came out and read it out loud to a bunch of people and said, "This is something like that."
Dude.
No,
Or
it is
whatever.
funny because I've been there. I believe that that's where the Declaration of Independence was read on July 4th,
1983.
1776, maybe. I don't
Wait,
know.
What year?
1776?
You sounded like that was a question. E.
No, it's not.
Did you know that it was actually voted on July 2nd, and therefore thereafter John Adams refused to recognize July 4th as the
I
real
did not
holiday?
know that. I should have, but I did not.
Really?
Yes. It was ratified. It was officially ratified and read, as he said,
On the
July
4th.
4th. Yeah, but it was voted on.
On the
Voted.
2nd.
On the 2nd.
Wow.
But here, I'll read the blurb.
Here, I will say,
I think
I-
we can count that for E, and I'm going to give you the star that's affixed.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Put it on your belly.
I was gonna say, even though, and I know your beef with us with the
God damn it.
with the fireworks and whatnot, and I get that.
Put it on
But
your
it is
forehead.
funny, but for a lot of
Yes, very good.
for a lot of the holidays that we celebrate, like our St. Patrick's Day and shit, where it's literally just people who aren't even Irish, don't give a fuck, and they're just like, oh, whatever.
Wear green, get drunk.
4th of July, they said it back when it would happen. Like, it was to be celebrated forthwith or whatever with fireworks and extra. Like, it was said, like, dude, yes, this is like, it's in the fucking written down that we should be fucking blowing up fireworks and drinking in celebration of what we did on that July 4th.
Hell yeah.
I believe the phrase was cannon fodder.
There we go.
Independence Hall is, by every estimate, the birthplace of the United States, says this blurb on the back of the Post. It was within these walls that the Declaration of Independence was adopted. It was here that the Constitution of the United States was debated, drafted, and signed.
Yep.
Yeah, I should have probably known that, too.
Yeah. It's perhaps even more significant.
Yes.
I don't know about that. I think the Declaration...
it's the chicken or the egg.
Right, you're right, for sure.
The Constitution, yeah.
Chris
Thou
posted,
shalt not kill. Shalt not lay with one's neighbor. Take the Lord's name in vain.
Have no other gods above me.
Yeah, all that shit. Yep.
Greetings, Jay. This is
Big
from
day.
Chris. I hope this finds you well. Please find enclosed. And this was a nice move. He enclosed inside a little bag and then mailed me the bag full of posts so that the post doesn't get stamped over. Find enclosed 3 postcards from our family trip. They are in pristine condition, as you can see. They are all show relevant. First, we have a bear Proops.
Yep.
Standing on his back hands.
Hi, bear.
Next, we have a proud Indian chief.
Look at that Poops.
Crazy horse. Feather Not Dot being carved out of a mountain. And finally, we have Mount Rushmore, which hopefully will inspire a future Big E history lesson. Enjoy. Look at this. The Mount Rushmore is a changey. So it has the original look of the mount.
And
then it adds it after it's carved in.
Wow.
Did you know that the Roosevelt area was a fuck up? If you look next to Roosevelt, I think it's between Roosevelt and Lincoln, there's kind of a gap.
Yeah, was someone else supposed to be in there?
I think I read that someone else was supposed to be in there and he fucked it up.
Obama, probably.
Probably.
Wow, that's
that is supposed to be a
weird,
really
man.
disappointing site to go see because
Dude,
you
I've
can't
been
get
there.
close, right? You're like,
I've been
you
there.
drive
It's
there,
small,
and it's
right?
It's smaller than you think, and it's just kind of like there's nothing else out there.
Right. So you
You're
drive
like,
all this way to see this thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because any picture you see is going to be a close up of these heads.
Yeah. They're going to frame it just right.
It's the same thing they say about the Statue of Liberty. That if you
Oh,
go
it's
out there to New
terrible,
York,
dude.
it's like this small little thing out there in the water. It's
Unimpressive.
When you see it, you're like, oh, I didn't realize it was that small. Okay. Yeah, what's going on? Who decided that? Like, I'm going to carve a face in a fucking mountain?
I don't
Seems
remember
like
the
an
artist's
odd-
name, but it is it's a
I think
pretty
it was-
cool
was it-
move,
I
I'd
believe
say.
I'd have to look back, obviously, at this point, but I
Dude.
believe it came at a time. There's been several times, where when we like start to lose our way and we feel like we need like you know what I mean, like a feeling of patriotism or something.
Who's
you got
on
this.
there, man?
And I believe that has something to do with that.
Jefferson, Washington, Roosevelt, and Lincoln, right?
Yeah. So you got Lincoln, who chopped down the cherry tree or apple tree.
Absolutely. Yep, you're remembering that, right?
Washington freed the slaves. Obviously, we all remember that.
Jefferson did the light bulb.
Yes. Which one discovered electricity?
Well,
Was it
Roosevelt went into Iraq, but he didn't take Baghdad, which sucked.
and then it was Lincoln that pulled out too soon and left that power vacuum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that goat Proops. He gets no mention, but look at that goat Proops hanging with the Indian Feather Not Dot.
Sounds like you should take some advice from Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pull out a little sooner.
Oh.
Too soon, Mike? Is it too soon?
Well, I didn't think you were going to go there. But
Yeah, there is a goat Proops on there. We appreciate it very much, Chris. Please send post P.O. Box 250-268, Franklin, Michigan 48025.
Yes. Jay really appreciates
I love
the
post.
Yeah. We've got a pretty good.
Well, what I'm going to start doing is pinning them on your wall.
No, we're
Yeah,
not
I
gonna-
am.
no,
I'm
we're
going to
not
take those
gonna
little
do
push pins and I'm going to make a collage
Nah.
all over this wall. Won't it be cool?
No. it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I'm just gonna cover the wall, kind of wallpaper. It'll be really.
I will
eclectic and
counter.
neat looking.
I'll counter and allow you a cork pad.
I don't want a cork pad.
I don't want 900
Dude,
holes in the wall.
I'll fill them.
Yeah, right.
I will fill them.
Bullshit.
Dude, you know what it takes
You
to
say
fill
that
a
now
fucking
until we
pinhole?
get into our fucking all bets are off haymaker of a fight and you storm out of here. I don't need this shit.
I promise
Telling me you're going to
you,
come back the next
I
day.
will.
By the
I
way,
will.
as Big E and I are trying
A little
to
bit of spackle.
manufacture a show, you're going to stand there
Yes, I'll be
awkwardly behind me.
spackling. On camera, I'll be spackling.
Coming with all your tools, spackling.
No, I don't need many tools. I need a fingertip and spackle.
Dude.
A pinhole.
And then what? Sand it and come back 2 days later and paint it?
You paint over. Dude.
It needs to be dry.
Oh, come on, man.
You're going to be so fucking mad when you storm out of here. You're not coming back the next day to
I promise
honor
you,
this,
on
whatever
these
this
airwaves,
is.
I'm promising you I will be back after I quit to fix your wall.
Well, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'll bring the push pins tomorrow. I'll get started tomorrow. Katie writes in, women landscapers. Hi, guys. While listening to episode 847, I was extremely offended by Big E automatically jumping to conclusions that all women landscapers are husky. I'm 19 years old, female, and work for Dustin's Mowing and Grounds, one of your fine advertisers.
Wow.
Prove it.
Yeah, 19.
Personally, I don't think I or all women should be broad-brushed into this category of women landscapers or sprinkler repair women you decided to declare unattractive. I by no means am a Victoria's Secret model, but I would consider myself a solid 6 to 8 out of 10. Biggie, I'm sorry.
6 to 8? Wait a minute.
That's a big...
There's a huge margin.
1, that's a big range. 2.
6 to 8. 7 to 8, maybe. 8 to 10, fine. 1 to 5, fine. 6 to 8. An 8 is a looker. A 6 is a pass.
Also, I can't believe it. I didn't realize that people rated women on numbers from 1 to 10.
Biggie, I'm sorry that you're used to getting rolled by 2s.
You fucking kidding me?
But not every attractive woman works.
Wordplay shit.
Wait, I don't get it. What did you say?
Like the whole Trump thing, with that whole Trump thing went down, and like, can you believe he was rating women on 1 to 10?
The gold star on his forehead.
I know.
Fucking
probably be there tomorrow.
Hillary
too.
said it in a freaking debate that she was shocked that men would rate women. Never.
And here's Katie, our woman landscaper, doing it to herself.
You got to be careful with that
she's
stuff.
Providing context without a picture.
Hopefully she's sandbagging. And she's a solid 8, but doesn't want to be like, I'm an 8, and have us go, oh, wow, geez, get over yourself.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
6 to 8 is a funny range.
Yeah. It's of all the 2-digit ranges, 6 to 8 might be the most troubling.
Boy, that's a tricky range.
Yeah.
You're right, because if you're like, I'm a solid 4 to 5, you don't have any expectation.
If you're an 8, you're hot.
Dude, you're
hot.
8. You
right.
are.
And if you're a 6,
you're picked up at a lot of times at 1:32 in the morning. Which is not
so what are
wrong
you,
with that.
Katie? A 6 or an 8?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need some proof here. But she does have a point, E, and heed her advice. I'm telling you, man. Beth watches a lot of that. What is that? The home channel or whatever where they're always rebuilding homes.
That's realistic. They didn't just pick models, girls that were good looking enough. They picked a certain amount of good looking enough girls and just told them enough to do to get through the show.
What are you talking about? It's their show.
Okay.
There's one girl.
Yeah, they don't have producers that find the right girls.
Fixer-uppers or whatever.
Yeah. One of the girls is from here.
This is how they're doing it. They have like couples that do it now. There's these 2 from Texas, a guy and his wife. One's a designer, one does the construction.
They're great.
They're super famous.
Yeah, they're the ones who made it to TV though. How many people tried out for
Dude,
that?
I'm just saying they're not husky, they're smoking hot girls. And they're fully capable. And they're fully capable of taking a house down to its bones and redo it.
2 out of a million.
Well, I'm just saying you can't across the board just say women that are doing landscaping or rebuilding a house are husky. I just pointed to multiple examples, and that girl and guy, husband, wife, that are getting what is it, Taryn or they've been in the tabloids lately because they're getting divorced. That bitch.
Okay, yeah, because lesbians are all as hot as they are in pornos.
That bitch is a 10. Her husband's a dolt, and I think she's better at building houses and selling houses than he is.
Okay, yeah, from TV.
And she's a 10, a solid 10.
Again,
I'm unsure of who you're referring to. I have no opinion on this.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture of her, dude.
I
You're
believe
like, wow.
you, but don't you understand that they made it to a TV show?
Yes, they did, because their skills are so strong.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of fat asses that didn't get made. They wanted to do it and they were better, and they didn't get the cut.
I think he's got a good point, man. These are chicks who, like the one I described, they're 2 down in Texas, and the guy does all the work. The chick does the design.
Yeah, yes.
So that's how it goes. So
not always. No,
there's chicks doing the construction, but are they really doing the construction?
Dude,
are they really, or is it a Bob Vila situation where he's?
Who do you know that's more sexist and racist than me? Name one person who's more misogynistic and sexist than me. I'm telling you, these bitches will go in there with sledgehammers and take that shit down to the studs.
Yeah, for a quick TV moment. I mean, anybody can put on some safety glasses and go bonk.
How much more sexist do I need to be?
I want to see your palm. You know?
Well, not
I want
just
to see her
that.
frame a fucking kitchen.
I'm not even saying that she can't do that. I'm saying that They had a freaking casting
She'll
call.
out-plumb you all day, first off.
They
for
had
the
a
record.
casting call, and they said, okay, we need women that can actually work on stuff. Then 100 people came in, 99 of them were gross, and the one hot one was there, and they picked her, and she got a TV show.
Fine, dude. And I would agree with you guys if all of a sudden you went, oh, let's see what Sweetheart did with her work, and she's got a lopsided door and an upside-down window. But these places are stunning.
Dude, you're assuming that they're doing all this work. Like, you're falling into the biggest TV trap ever. You know more than anybody that this shit is so produced. You think these chicks are actually building these?
They fix a house in a half an hour.
This is
In a half
offensive
an
to
hour.
me.
Mike, they go in with entire crews, and I'm not saying females can't fix houses either, but I'm just saying these people that are presenting on the TV are not doing all this work.
So you're saying that
There's no fucking way.
the foreman on the job who's calling all the shots and doing, yeah,
She
they've
have
got
her hard hat on and on her blueprints, and she's going, yeah, you up there, get the tile done right away. Hey, you over there, go frame that closet.
Okay, well, when she goes in there and says, you know what, we're going to need to widen this 3 inches because I've got a blah, blah, blah coming in and a blah, blah,
I know,
blah.
they make her sound really professional.
Yeah. And then the guy's like in there,
Reading
"Si,
cue
senor,
cards.
The magic of TV.
si, senorita, I'll get it
You know,
done."
Tom
And he
Cruise
starts
isn't
doing
really
it.
in the army.
And then
Tom Cruise is a race car driver, isn't he? He's
First off,
amazing. He's
it was
a fucking fighter pilot. He's a race car driver. He's a
It's
spy.
crazy. I mean, you see him.
This guy's an amazing guy. Have you heard of Tom Cruise, Mike?
I have heard of him. But then she'll
Yeah,
come in
he's
and be
beautiful.
like, guys, I need you to hurry. In fact, get out of the way. I'll do this. Get working on the thing downstairs. And then she comes in and with her sledgehammer. Wham!
Yeah, all they show her doing is like the macro. Is she doing like finished carpentry? I don't think
Yes.
so. Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they show her on the saw. Zzz, okay, and then she walks away. Like anybody can go.
This is sexist
made
and
for
insulting.
TV, dude.
This is insulting to me.
can't believe you
found
fall
a
for
way.
this.
No, because I've watched enough of these episodes to go, that bitch knows what she's doing. You can't fake that. I couldn't stumble my way in there and fake it. You see the couples that they're working with. Sometimes they make the couple help too. And you see the girl and she's like, yeah, you can tell she's never held a hammer or a shovel before.
Yeah.
And it's like, bitch, get out of the way. Let a man do
All
this.
right, admittedly, I havened seen what the exact show you're talking about.
Neither
I'm
of you
just
have. You're
skeptical.
fighting me.
I'm just very skeptical because I know how TV is done, Mike, and I know they put pretty faces on the camera and they don't necessarily do all the work.
There's a girl locally. I keep wanting to think.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Nicole
about.
or
Blonde chick from Lake Orion.
Is she from Lake Orion?
Yeah,
Why don't we get her on the phone?
She did a house downtown recently.
I think it's her. Did she buy one? I know she bought one in Detroit herself and took it down to the studs and then built it back up. Why don't we get her on the phone and see who, maybe we can get her to do a plum challenge with you. I don't even know what that is, but I have a feeling she'd whoop your ass
Got
in
my
plumbing.
plumb bob ready.
All right, we've gone long.
Yeah,
I blame me. We took a week off. We can give him a few extra minutes, right?
Sure. Save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thanks everybody for hanging with us. You stop giggling like a schoolgirl over there because Jay agreed with you. It happens from time to time. It's not that big a deal. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.